way more spry when you don't do that time after. Nothing slows you down, dude.
It's true. Yeah.
Nothing gonna slow you down. Oh no.
You got to keep on
moving.
moving.
We've been singing a lot lately, eh? You notice that on the
Is
show?
that Billy Wilder? What was his name? Who did Break My Stride?
I feel like some crappy boy band, girl band.
You know,
thing
you go
that
back
redid it in the
to
90s,
the
maybe?
80s, and there's some crap music, but
Oh,
some of the things they allowed them to sing about. Interesting.
Matthew Wilder. There we go.
what sort of things, right?
I don't want to bring it up. It's
Like
one of
sexual
those,
intercourse
one of
or
those I
hard
won't even
drugs?
call it woke, but just things where you're like, you shouldn't be saying that.
Mm.
Hmm.
Are you offended?
I don't get offended about anything because
Right.
I'm an idiot.
Someone sent me a it was a TV commercial from what I'm going to say is the early to mid 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And it was for a mattress store. And I now again, we're on the internet. Pretty much anything goes here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to run it.
You're not going to run it?
It's too much.
Really?
Let me just say this, that it's one of those things like, hey, I'm Bill from Bill's Mattress Warehouse.
Yeah.
And you know, everybody loves me. I'm Bill. I love everybody. I love all people, and everybody is welcome here. And then he decides to go through different.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So that's
There's costumes and accents and.
Ooh,
dig up.
Ooh, dude,
Bella.
I know what you're saying.
That's just off the mattress.
That is
I think
not
that's a bit
subtle.
worse.
It's a lot. Yeah.
So we can have an Aussie guy in his man cave ripping off like 50
C-bombs,
C-bombs and
yeah.
MFing the Oilers. But that
Oh,
mattress
wee.
commercial that was on TV in the 80s
Ooh.
can't do it.
See,
Don't have the stomach for it.
now we could run it. I just feel like the climate that we're in today's
You got to be
society,
careful, Dean.
I just rather not.
If you feel more comfortable with Aussie Brad than this, I suggest we don't
What do
play
we
it.
talk about all the time?
What do we talk about all the
We
time?
talk about risk,
And reward.
reward.
It's just you and your boys.
Risk, reward. I got a risky and a
His arms are so long,
God, it's crazy.
so long. Yeah, and I'm gonna say there's little reward.
the odd chuckle, and then
Yeah, it would be
all downhill.
and it would be awkward chuckles. It'd be, ooh, okay.
Oh, dear. I wouldn't have said
man.
that.
No, I
Yeah.
wouldn't. Yeah, geez, I'm not sure. Not sure how many
Uh,
box springs you're selling with
had
that.
to give the shoveler shit.
Oh,
There's that word again. Sorry, folks. But some of the things that she was sending to my child, I'm like, no.
Remember you say shirt?
nudie
Maybe you
pics.
should go shirt.
I could say shirt, eh?
Because you're
Too
a lot of and shirt was great on the show. You had dog shirt, horse shit shirt, lots of shirts, right?
Mhm.
Piece of shirt.
Yeah.
You know, get some fun with that.
Yeah,
used to
bull
keep-
shirt, dog shirt, horse shirt. We should still do those.
Piece of
shirts.
shirt. I think we stay shirt.
All right.
Jack, you can take the explicit lyrics off the channel. We're good.
No swearing. It's a family show.
Shirts and giggles.
Before we get into the meat of the show, I'm going to start today
The
Mhm.
meat.
with the auction that is online
Yeah.
at nationgear.ca.
I'm gonna buy this bastard.
You probably should.
I'm gonna. If
Watch your-
somebody doesn't step up their cheapness.
That's right. So the auction is in support of our Top Shelf Elf Christmas campaign. I understand it's a little bit early, but we can't be putting up an auction in December for a game that's being played on November 1st.
Wouldn't work, Dean.
And I'm not going to tell John Winwick, hey, you know what? You take your 25 tickets and food vouchers. You take them, and we don't want them.
We don't want your 25 malts.
Not going to
Wrong.
do it. ATB Financial, John Winwick have donated to our cause, the Top Shelf Elf, a great game day experience. 25 press level tickets to Calgary versus New Jersey. Tickets that idiot Jack went and
Idiot Jack.
anyway.
Overpaid.
25 tickets plus each ticket comes with a food and drink voucher, popcorn, hot dog, drink, soft serve malt.
A malt, Dean?
Malt. The auction
Damn,
will
that's
end
good.
tomorrow. We're going to give you a week and change or whatever it's going to be. To
You got 29 hours left.
Get
I'm looking-
things
I'm
ready.
I'm reading right now. 29 hours from now.
and right
Now-
now it's a steal of a deal. What's the top bid? Like
350.
350? Come on.
Let's get her going, guys. Come on.
25 tickets.
If I did the
25
math,
malts.
it's barely $10 a ticket.
I don't know, is it? I'll get my
Yeah,
calculator.
math, that's a lot. I don't know. It's pretty early for that.
It's just
I'm still working on PDO.
$11 a ticket.
Okay.
regardless. Cheap as chips.
Nationgear.ca.
I can tell you what you can't do.
Mm.
You can't buy a bowl or a bucket of popcorn at the Dome for
No, you're not.
$10.
You're not doing
Maybe
it.
you can. I don't know.
Now think
Jeez.
if you, yeah, you
No,
wouldn't
I
have.
don't look
No.
into it. I'm just guessing.
I mean,
But not with a malt.
I mean, underwear and socks these days. What are they? $100 a pair? You've never bought yourself underwear or socks, have you?
Don't wear
Because
them.
you're going to go with a whole bunch of people. Now, maybe it's coworkers, maybe it's kids,
Maybe-
sports teams, whatever group.
Maybe it's your work pals.
Maybe. Think of 25 of you guys sitting up there with your ice creams and your popcorns and whoop, whoop, whoop. You stink, Markstrom.
Hey, Dale in
You
accounting.
stink.
I need another malt.
You're terrible. You traitor. They traded me. Still. Don't like it.
Run him,
You're-
Paul.
go-
Run him.
Boo. So that's what you can do.
You can do that. Yeah.
And all for a great cause.
Yeah, for the kids.
Right?
And feel good about doing it.
Yeah, it's the Adopt a Family Christmas campaign. Awesome.
I'd encourage
What
you
did
to heckle for the kids.
What did we just talk about?
Risk reward.
Risk
Jesus,
and
get
reward.
out of here.
There's zero risk and plenty of reward.
Have you ever seen arms
So
this long?
They're just
It's like an octopus.
Risk reward, folks?
Jeez.
Always weigh the risks and rewards.
feels like there's way more reward than risk in this scenario.
Basically zero risk.
It's almost risk because
It's a reward guarantee with zero risk.
boo. That's what you can do from
That's right.
your seat.
Devils.
Not today though. Today it's the Carolina Hurricanes.
So what's that mean?
Their one and only visit. Just once.
So what's
until the Stanley Cup final.
What you gonna do
When
the
of
thing?
course the Flames will play the
Right.
Carolina Hurricanes.
It'd be nice to have another final in the Dome before they knock it down.
Well, there's a few years for that. So it's a game day. Get your helmet on.
There it is.
Get your helmet on.
Get your-
5-0-1 Flames taking on the 3-2 Carolina. Now they've played 5 games. Would have been 6, but there was a
They got Tampa'd out.
hurricane of some sort down
Oh.
near Tampa.
a
Probably the right move there.
A weather event?
Yeah, weird.
Significant weather.
The hurricanes affected the Lightning and the Hurricanes.
Yeah. Natural disasters.
Yeah. Careful what you wish for.
Yeah, definitely that.
Right? Yeah.
Was it earthquake and typhoon? Was that the natural disasters?
Yes.
Those are large men.
Yeah.
Hairy men.
John Tenta, I believe, was the name of earthquake. And then there was. Did he also turn into tugboat?
Maybe.
Jack,
Jack,
big old tugboat.
Was
Jack?
earthquake and tugboat
John
the same guy?
Tenta, was he earthquake?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
That's what I heard, anyways.
John Tenta.
dead.
This is Rhett Tentacles. That's
Yeah.
a different guy.
Both of these teams coming off huge extra time victories just 2 nights ago.
Mahusiv.
Truth.
Mahusiv wins indeed. 1 in overtime, 1 in a shootout. Sebastian
Both erasing deficits.
got the overtime winner
God
against
bless
the
him.
Oilers.
Good boy.
And Justin Kirkland got the winner, and then Dustin Wolf got the save.
Yeah, he did.
They both kind of helped out there in the end as the Flames beat the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Was nice to get confirmation too, because the debate's been raging for a while. Who's better, Kirkland or Malkin? So that's been put to bed. We
Yeah.
can move forward.
Apparently Kirkland doesn't miss.
63% in the AHL in the shootout in his career. So I think everyone was like, "What the heck's Huska doing?" And I'm like, Huska knows he's good at the
Husk
shootout.
knows. Husk knows.
And maybe even more importantly, there would be no NHL goalie. He's like, I know his move.
I don't know. I can tell you this: no one would know my move either, and it got
Yeah.
dumped into corners.
Eric
Yeah,
says
that's
John
true.
from Surrey, BC too. Fun fact. I had no idea.
Slurry.
Maybe he was dead.
Really? Canadian.
Everyone loved him.
Sir Eagles.
I didn't like him. I don't even remember him. That's
And
odd.
Ken is saying that Tugboat was a different wrestler altogether.
So you
He was very large.
You don't remember Earthquake or Tugboat?
I kind of don't. Jack,
Oh,
can we
man.
pull, like, I don't want to put any pressure on you because I know you like to sit there and do nothing.
Jack,
but
it's
if you
Thursday.
could
We don't wanna
find
bug you.
Tugboat,
Or Earthquake and Typhoon, the natural disaster.
Yeah.
all three, if
Yeah.
there's no risk or
Man,
reward.
imagine 6-man tag with those 3
Oh,
fellas.
who'd you want on the other side? You need some big, maybe Andre,
you know, you got to go quick.
Yokozuna,
You got
and
to
who
go
else?
quick.
Maybe King Kong Bundy or Big John
Ooh,
Stud.
Both of those. I liked Big John Stud.
Big John Stud was scared shitless of Andre.
Who?
Because Andre was, I'm Andre the Giant. I am the big man.
He's the biggest.
And you're going to call yours Big John Stud?
Can't do it.
I don't think so. So whenever they would, Stud would be like, he's going to fucking kill me. He's going to kill me.
Because he was mahoosive.
He was mahoosive. Just not as mahoosive as Andre.
You know, another guy.
And then Andre would get in there and say, I've got these cinder blocks for hands. I'm going to lay these right into your neck. So we'd get him in the corner and do one of those with the, get that, and then just drop him right in.
Rake across the chest.
Yeah.
Now, because the hands of Andre, the famous image is him holding, like, I believe, a Molson Canadian beer.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's one of those little tiny airplane clamatos that
Yeah,
you would ask
exactly.
for to make a Caesar.
Yeah.
Jack, I know you
Oh,
like to
here's
sit
a
there and
little
do
baby
nothing,
one.
but-
Like, crazy how, like, nuts. Maybe that's everything was to scale, but the hand was just mind blowing.
Yeah. No, he was another great guy. Everyone loved Andre. Very sad, though.
Yeah, it's a sad story. It's a tragedy, not a comedy.
Yeah. Life
What
was
do they
very
call
difficult
that
for
when it's a
Andre.
tragedy and a comedy.
A tragedy.
Because it's a romance comedy.
Rom-com?
Yeah.
Camagee.
Comedy? Comedy.
Conjury.
Yeah, well,
I just call it life, Dean.
Risk reward. Once again.
God, this show's
Who was the best announcer? Look at that.
Look at it.
That's the
not-
one.
That is not AI, folks.
Dude, look
That
at it.
is
It looks
not
like one of those
AI.
little clamatos you can ask for. It's tiny.
And what's great about that one is it's not just his hand. You see somebody else is holding a can. and
Yes.
It's not a, like you say, a V8.
Jeez. What are we doing here?
And he
That's
would just
insane.
drink cases of wine.
Oh, that poor bastard's liver.
Yeah. But how do you fly? How do you travel? How do you get
I didn't
around?
do anything.
Yeah.
Guy,
You gotta be smashed.
Sitting at a restaurant.
that
How
guy
am I-
need Crystal Waters anytime he goes number 2.
That's
Oh,
right.
if Crystal Waters is listening,
Maybe
please
not
come to
Crystal
my
Waters,
house.
but, you know.
Crystal Waters. We may be going to the Crystal Waters hotline later in the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Earthquake?
We're hoping
Tugboat. Oh, no,
are they
no.
all dead, Jack? All of them?
Yeah, isn't that the name of the
What
famous
is Jack
podcast?
doing over there?
Nothing. No, he found the picture. That was good.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's about as good as you
One
can
for
hope for.
four.
I guess so. Yeah.
He didn't have the overtime save, but he's
Okay, so
Yeah.
you asked who was the best. Who asked who was the best announcer?
I didn't.
I did.
Because Mean Gene's your best ringside reporter, like the behind
Interviewer.
the scenes. Like,
Yeah.
what do you call that? Jerry the King's phenomenal with Jim Ross. Who'd be better than that? I don't know. That felt like peak for my life, but then again, I don't know if they were there for those like prime Super Bowl or WrestleMania 3 to
Back in
10 glory
those days, your main broadcast duo would have been Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse the Body.
Jesse the
Ventura.
Body. Yes. Okay.
And I did like Jesse because he was always a good foil. He
Some
was always-
sweat hog.
Yeah, he was always the face, the baby face was always getting a unfair shake, and
Right.
he was always.
He picked his favorites.
You know, Vince was good at the
Mm-hmm.
main play-by-play.
How much
too.
did he do that? I never
Did a
recall
fair
that. Yeah.
Yeah, he did a fair bit until the business got to be quite. And then he had to, of course,
get
get into
involved.
the ring and take care of business because
Before he put his kids in the ring.
this D-Generation X and this
Right.
Steve Austin, they needed to be put into their place.
reined in.
Needed to be put.
You've
into
watched the
place.
doc, I imagine.
Yeah.
Recommend.
Yeah, I mean, if
Entertaining
you
scumbag.
if you have no interest in wrestling, then you're probably not going to be interested. In
If
it.
you have no reference to
Yeah.
it, then
So
You watch it?
I don't watch TV. YouTube and podcasts.
So this morning you got into the lake. You did your cold plunge, but you forgot to set your timer.
Yeah, I got the clock out. And so what happened?
Uh.
What happened was
Yeah.
there's a little bit of a frost, right? And so that wooden
Was
dock,
there frost on the pumpkin?
there was a little frost, and that little dock, the dock on the whoa! I
Slippy.
nearly Dixied.
You nearly broke your contract.
Well, Twinkle Toes Flintstone
Yeah,
barely
yeah.
saved it. So I got a little disheveled and rattled. And then I went in and I thought I pushed start, but the dinger never went off. And at the one point, I started feeling like I'm not really feeling anything anymore.
That's a sign of
It's maybe time.
losing nerves.
So I did 30
Yeah,
more
yeah.
seconds. I could do this.
I was going to say, do you think you did more or less?
I think I did about double. I think I was at
Oh.
4 to 4.5. Whew.
So when you get in, your body starts screaming at you, like, get out, get out, get out. You have to override all that. You have to focus on breathing slowly. Like, where do you go mentally? Because you really need to distract your brain. Otherwise, it's obnoxious as hell.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think about it?
I mean, CTE helps in that
Okay.
case. It doesn't work correctly at the best of times. So,
right. So,
yeah, just little things. You know, I really focus on the show. I want to make sure I'm ready for the show. So I spend a good
Sure.
2 minutes in the lake.
That's his prep, Dean. 2.5 minutes every morning. It's efficient.
Yeah. Thinking about how that power play could improve because it was
Top 5, probably.
It was not great the other night for sure.
It still sits 13th in the league.
Is that right?
Well, we'll take it.
It's
Sure.
Trey early, but yeah. And you know what? The game before I liked it. I thought Zeri and Kuzmenko were zipping it around, and then last game,
And after that, you said they can't take Zeri off.
Zeri's got to live
Power
there.
play one.
I just think there's a certain amount of hockey IQ there that I don't know that anyone else has the ceiling that he does on it. If you're going to have already the staples of like a Kuzmenko, the other parts I don't know who's untouchable. Sharon Govich coming back would be nice. We kind of forgotten about him.
Is
He's
he
a nice
alive?
weapon. Yeah,
Good.
not skating yet. I don't believe. Rooney has been skating, but Kirkland's been great. So
Less
no rush.
concerned about the rushing of Rooney.
the Rune Dog.
No question. But you're right. I mean, Hansa kind of was plateauing pretty hard there before he got hurt.
Sure was.
Coronado may at some point be a top line player in the league. He ain't that yet. They could use a Sharon Govich.
Sure. Yeah.
And the other thing that was noted that I'd forgotten about, that he was just automatic in the shootout. Remember all this dirty moves? You're like, Jesus, where did this guy come from? He was awesome in the shootout year. And it was 2 years ago, Daryl would look down and be like, none of these dusters can do this. Like, they were brutal. They had no one on the team even close to 30%.
No Kirkland at his disposal.
That's right. No Kirklands, no Sharon Goviches, no Zeris.
Tough. Feel for him.
Imagine how good this team will be when they get Sharon Govich back. What do you mean? What's their record?
5-0-1.
Oh, they're undefeated.
Best.
And their top
Best
scorers out.
That's right.
One of
Well,
them.
Kadri was the scorer last year, but
Not by goals, but points. Yeah. Like, I think Sharon Govich was 32 bingos last year.
bingos.
A lot of goals. There, look at that. Huh. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Exactly what people thought.
Yeah.
Anaheim and Calgary.
We're going to cash those Bet365 division winners bets
San
in
Jose.
April. Might even have that lock to X in beside them, or
that's
the
the
Y
best.
to clinch maybe by what, Feb?
Yeah.
March?
I think what's important is we all have a positive attitude and an outlook for it for tonight. But Tara says,
I think it ends tonight.
Tara-
Sadly.
Please don't.
not really the vibe we're looking for.
She-
We're all going to
No
get
helmet
helmets on to
there.
get ready. Big game, 5-0-1. And I was, you know what? This is not your father's Carolina Hurricanes. There's been many changes since you've seen them
No
last.
But they
Jeff
kind of are the
O'Neills.
same, though. Like the decor is totally different, but I'm looking at it. Still really hard to get shots against. Still really strong defensively. It seems to me like the system's more important than the pieces.
Literal Larry, hey? Literal Larry. Here.
Okay, let's not talk about their defense.
So the
You fuck- go where you want.
95
Go where you want.
I was
Go where
going
you
to go.
want.
I said they're not your father's Carolina Hurricanes. I was just going to limp in with so many different. A lot of guys are gone.
Yeah.
Is what this comes down to. Tara Vinen was there for 8 years. That's one shy of 9.
One shy of.
But he's gone. He said, I'm going to go play with this Connor Bedard kid, I think.
Where's that?
Chicago.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a nice city.
Had 25
Very
goals last
steppy.
year, career high, set him out. So there's 25 goals
Off
just gone for
off the
the
card.
Canes, yeah. Because I want to go back. He came to Carolina. He was the sweetener in the Brian Bickle deal. When Chicago was like, we've got way too much dough. We need, could somebody just take this lump
How was his contract?
and his contract?
It was Bickle bad.
It was Bickle bad for sure. We'll give you Tara Vinen if you will just take
Just take this off our
please
hands.
take this guy.
And for a decade, he was a very good middle
Yeah.
six player. No?
Brett Pesce turned his back on the Carolina Hurricanes. 9 seasons he was there.
How many?
It's 2 on the nose. Fairly steady, top 4, 20-minute-a-night guy.
Everybody wants
9 years. I'm going to New Jersey.
New Jersey.
That's right. Brady Shea, he gone. They gave up a first to bring in Brady Shea.
Great player.
I love Morgan Wallen, he said.
How many years was he there?
Only 4.
It's still
Morgan
a long time.
Wallen? What
Nashville.
he said?
He's going to Nashville.
Oh,
He wants to
I
hang
see.
out
The
with
other way.
Old Red.
I thought-
Yeah.
Mhm.
Although 7
Old
times 7
Red has
probably
a
lot.
great it's like a breakfast scramble-y poutine
Do they?
gravy. Oh,
Yeah.
ooh. I need a nap after. Sorry, Dean.
That or the,
Nurse cancel my 1
Booze.
o'clock.
of course, Tony D'Angelo, who he's gone too.
Richard, noted Richard.
Yeah, he's gone. They gave up some stuff to bring in Jake Gensel, and he didn't stick around either.
Yeah, a second and like 4 prospects. Jack, is that
Second,
right?
5th, bunting, and 3 bodies.
Oh,
Yeah.
bunt.
Yeah.
It's not that much, really, is it, for Gents? A second, 5th?
Well, it's 2 months against, so
Yeah, but
Yeah. Second, 5th, 3 players.
Pitt would do it again. They didn't lose him for nothing.
Yeah.
And Carolina probably do that again too, because you're like, hey, we think we're a contender. Let's go add a guy that's won before and that's clutch.
Top 9 guy, Stefan Nason, had 15 goals?
He was a nice find. Remember him just toiling in Anaheim and Ottawa and all these other places forever. Like, yeah, I guess he's not an NHL. That's failed prospect bust. Not going to happen. And then boom, 2 years ago at the playoff draft, we made fun of some guy for picking Stefan Nason on the team,
Yeah.
and he was
He
unbelievable.
was pretty good. 14 goals last year. So that's Teravainen, Nason, 2 out of your top 9 for sure. Teravainen, not their top guy, but one of their better players. It's 25 goals.
he'd be a
Shea,
key
Pesce.
cog.
The blue line is the real overhaul. Right?
It is.
And it's continued to happen because it's been a few years of them leaking some guys out, but it's still Slavin. And, you know, they really like this Jalen Chatfield, who's big and physical, plays on the third pair, but it's the system that they play. Because Shea's numbers in Nashville, I was reading this morning, like when he's on the ice, puck's in his end way too much and not on the other end. And the chances are at one end and it's his.
It's a rough start in Nashville.
It's a worse start for him than it's been for Marchessault and Stamkos in the underlying numbers. And there's a guy that you're like, look at like that Carolina. He's such a great defender. It's the Carolina system. And Shea, I'm sure, will straighten things out a bit. But with Gostisbehere and Walker, 2 guys that we think offense first as a second pair, this group is doing the same thing they've always done defensively. They suppress a ton of shots. They don't give up a lot of chances, and they get good goaltending.
Gostisbehere leads them in goals in 4 straight games.
Jeez.
Signed a 3-year deal, 3.2 per season.
It's a steal.
On July 1. He had 56 points in 81 games last year with Detroit. And I got look basically since the kind of end of the lockout type thing, 2021 season. Carolina twice, Detroit, Arizona, Philly. 173 points in 284 games. So you're at about a
How's he only getting 3?
You're at about a 0.6.
Sorry, Rasmus Anderson. You're not
Clip.
getting 9.
Actually, I'm going to use Erik Karlsson.
Yeah,
as
I'm going to use a
comp.
different comp maybe.
But Slavin's the only guy that's left 3 years ago on this blue line. Like Burns was added trade from San Jose. Gostisbehere, you just talked about. Walker, new addition. Chatfield's been in the minors, has finally come up. Orlov, they had from Washington and traded a few years ago, or in free agency after he was traded to Boston. So that's 5 of their 6 D-men, brand new. They still look like the Carolina Hurricanes with the old blue line.
Well, we'll see.
They have. Yeah,
That's
it's like 6 games.
5.
But it's not your
Sure.
brother.
Yeah.
Father's Hurricanes.
Yeah, it's a lot of changes.
A lot of change.
A lot of changes.
Some new faces.
Freddie Anderson's still there. Old Pete Kachetkov
He's
still
alive?
there. Those 2.
Yeah,
Keep saying that.
still there.
Good tandem. If Anderson's going to get hurt at some point, and then Kachetkov holds the mail. I don't know that there's a mega stud there, but the way they defend, you don't need one necessarily.
Anderson
Well,
so
guess
far
what else they don't do? Win.
1.64 and a 939.
Oh, that's tidy.
He was in for the Edmonton win.
Can't be
Kochetkov,
trusted.
again, these numbers you throw out, they played 2
See,
games or
I'm
whatever,
sorry.
but 305, 867 for Kochetkov, who is considerably younger, a decade
Yes.
younger. Freddie Anderson, 35 years old.
They had the Uncle Auntie for a while there, and some other fellas. Just who was it? Maybe Reimer they brought in for a bit.
Yeah,
Like they've been
Reimer for a bit.
buying low on guys having bad years, saying goalies are voodoo. Let's just bet on bounce backs. Buy time for Kochetkov, and Anderson was always good in Toronto. Had a bad playoffs. He's been good for them. He just hurt a lot. He had like blood clot issues last year, I think.
So he's 35. The blue line, Orlov, 33. Slavin 30. Burns is 39. Goss's Bear 31. Sean Walker's 29.
Burns is 39.
Burns is 39.
Whew.
You want to find? You want?
Why is that surprising you? He's been around forever.
Well, he's top pair. It's just impressive. Like,
Well, he can skate. So all you kids out there, because I know you're listening, a lot of kids. in
yeah,
the
it's a big
crowd.
kid podcast.
Make
And I
sure you-
stumbled into something last night that I did not know to be the case. Burns has played in 848 consecutive games.
Is he your current Ironman? leader?
Second longest active streak in the NHL, seventh longest all time. But here's the thing: Phil Kessel, because he's not retired, is still considered active,
Yeah.
and he's got that 1,064 thing going. Take him out of the mix, and yes, Brent Burns is your longest active. Hasn't missed a game since 13-14 in San Jose,
Really?
Wow.
and he plays 20 a night, power play,
13-14.
848 consecutive.
Is that the
games.
season they traded Jerome? Like, that's how long ago?
There's your look. Not crazy.
Hmm.
Just strikes me as a like you say, a good skater, but he is 39 years old.
So he could crack top 5, your boy Patty Marleau, maybe even top 4, Gary Unger, if he stays healthy this year. Wild.
And you two have a kinship, I would think. You both have you're both very hairy and you love snakes.
I'm not that hairy. I have lots of hair.
Take your shirt off.
I'm not hairy.
No,
I have lots of hair.
like right here. There's lots of hair. Some here,
What about this area?
here. Yeah, we have beards. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're both hairy.
I don't have like a
Ryan.
cashmere sweater. You know, some guys
I
they got the
don't-
whole.
I don't
That's
think
what
he
we're-
does either.
Yeah,
I'm just saying he has a lot.
Tatted up.
Okay, gosh.
I'd never thought of it that way. Yes,
Literal.
the beard for sure.
You guys have a kinship. You both have
Hairy
a lot of
asses.
hair from the neck up and in the facial and
Facial hair.
Head top of your head region, and you both like snakes.
Ryan is into details, Dean. I would like you to-
Context and
Back to you,
details and accuracy. Yeah.
You know what? The
Gracious.
most impressive out here is Craig McTavish, the helmetless one.
That's right.
518 games. Like, play that many with no helmet.
Without a bucket.
He was in the clink for a bit too. That would have interrupted a streak
Jeez.
potentially. What? What?
Oh my God.
Jack, am I wrong?
Dean,
Was he not in the clink?
Dean, short show.
No
today,
comment.
please.
Short show.
Just keep it tidy.
You dropped your paper, Rhett.
Yeah, that's okay.
So good on Brent Burns. That's quite an
Keep
accomplishment.
it up, kid. Yep. Or dad, I guess.
So is he the oldest active player in the league?
Be close.
Let's find it out right meow.
Another guy you talk about, we're talking about beards, I guess. Gray beards. Jordan Staal, year 19 in
Yeah,
the National Hockey League.
still Staal, still Martinuk, still Aho. Like there's some career guys too.
Fleury and Suter, oldest.
For context, yeah, because he was, I think, the year prior, right? Jordan Staal was taken second overall in 2006. So Jordan Staal playing tonight. In that 06 draft, the Flames drafted Leland Irving.
Leland.
That's a long time ago.
Leland. Good golfer.
Surprisingly, though,
Really good. Yeah, he's a stick.
I figured maybe this would be a rarity. Eric Johnson went first that year. He's still playing.
Yeah, wow.
I didn't know.
A lot of the Johnsons still going.
Trevor Lewis, a
Louis.
first rounder that year. He's still playing. Semyon Varlamov, Jeff Petrie, Nick Foligno, Claude Giroux, Brad Marchand, James Reimer, all taken from that draft, all still playing.
Wow. And
Holy smokes, Dean.
your boy Gold had a Trevor Lewis blast on Afterburner the other
Gold,
day.
yeah.
That was
Yeah.
unreal.
Yeah, he did. You know what it is? He's got Pinder envy. The longer I worked with him,
Who,
it was
Gould?
yeah.
I don't like saying that name.
Anything he could do
Can't
to
say it right. Gold.
rip the
Gould.
Oilers and
Let's go.
Coached well.
yeah.
He's got
That's
good
what it is.
mentorship. Good kid.
But fellas, we've come this far. We've talked about the Carolina Hurricanes, and we've not really talked about the most important part.
Is it 80s night?
It's Rod the Bod.
Oh,
Saving the best for last, Dean.
Vanessa Williams. Rod Brindamore won a Stanley Cup as a Carolina Hurricane.
Damn right he did, Dean.
Spent something like 8 years behind the bench as an assistant, is now
Mhm.
into year 7, I believe, as the head coach.
Third contract there with the owner.
Hurricanes had missed the playoffs for 9 straight
Come on,
seasons.
you've had so many
least
opportunities.
9 years.
Give
I
us
know.
one.
Don't worry, but it's too late now.
9 times.
The Hurricanes had missed the playoffs 9 times consecutively. Hired Rod Brindamore as their head coach.
Mhm.
They have made the playoffs in all 6 seasons since and won at least a round in all 6 years since Rod the
So
Bod
they can't get over the
took
hump.
over.
They can't get over the hump with Rod.
Not true.
Oh, geez,
Is
that's
what-
a tough look.
That's what you're telling people.
That's not what I'm telling people at all.
I don't know that there'd be a team that has more wins in the regular season the last 6 years. I think Toronto
that
might be in there.
matters.
Boston might be in there. Vegas maybe. Like
6
they're-
years, they won 8 rounds.
It's good.
Made it to the conference final
Twice.
twice.
Remember what
there.
we used to say about San Jose?
Similar.
Really good. Just don't do.
Well, there.
Kind of.
Why is that wrong?
No,
because
I was
you
gonna
love
say-
Rod?
I think that's apt.
That's kind of because you've now
Look at that word,
seen.
apt.
Pesci's gone and Slavin's gone. You gave up picks to bring in Gensel. That didn't work. I'm not saying the window's closing,
I don't think it is. No.
but this is a win now, hurry up and win now kind of a team.
And not unlike San Jose that Rhett's referencing, it was about a decade and a half of always being around contender, but never quite the gargantuan favorite or behemoth, right? Like they were
Play
never
good.
Goliath.
They've got a good system.
Yeah.
They got good players. It all has to come together, and then something falls.
We'll add a piece of the deadline. We don't need to use all these picks. And then, yeah,
Mm.
out in the semis or the conference finals.
Yeah. Graybeard's on the blue line, but fairly young up top.
The thing, they do a good job of shuffling the guys through. If they lose a guy, they get someone else,
Yeah.
and they do play a system.
They do play a system.
It's a
There's Svechnikov. He and Kotkaniemi.
Great name.
They're 24 years old, each of them in year 7 in the NHL.
that offer sheet was one of the weirdest ones ever. The Cuck and
Yeah.
Yumi, and then
Yeah. And then they tried to take Aho, and all it did was really
they just got Aho locked into the
just
deal.
said thanks.
That
for
was
that.
the stupidest thing I've ever
Bergevin.
seen Bergevin do. You're like, huh? You signed Aho to a team-friendly deal and thought you'd get the player.
Yeah.
Ooh, go get him, bud.
So Roslovic came in as a unrestricted free agent, as did William Carrier, one of the
Yeah.
original Vegas Golden Knights. Jackson Blake, that's Jason's son.
The two guys
I
are
bet he can skate.
He can. He's got I think he has a couple of goals already this year.
You know who
I'm
else
not
can
worried about
skate? Brother of a former Flames icon on this forward group. Brother? Think about it.
Well,
Maybe
I'm
I'm
sure
wrong,
that
that's-
you're, no one's gonna know.
Eric Robinson is one of the speedier guys you'll find in the league. Brother was Buddy Robinson. Buddy Robinson.
Oh, I thought you said Robinson. I mean, I
Who,
don't
of
know
course,
any
was high
Robinson.
school pals with Johnny.
That's right.
And it was funny because it was like take your kid to school because he was so bloody big and Johnny
Yeah.
was Johnny size.
You see those lines again there, Jack. I'm sorry. So Necas is young. Kotkaniemi, Svechnikov, Aho, Seth Jarvis just signed a fat new contract in the offseason.
Core's young.
Staal, we told you, is not. Jack Drury. And the other thing that's interesting here,
It's like Chris's.
it's not. So Aho, Kotkaniemi, Staal, Drury, all centers. Seth Jarvis plays center.
Necas
Marty Necas
plays center.
plays center.
Roslovic also might as well, I think.
So they play center.
But because of the depth,
Yes.
they're pushed to the wing here.
So it's very similar to a Calgary does because Calgary has so many wingers. They
Yeah.
actually have to push guys to center. Like, last year,
right.
our boy Sharon Govich.
Is that what this is, or do they actually have?
They've got lots of centers.
They have pure centers.
Plethora.
Yeah.
I would say this. If Necas or Jarvis were in Calgary, they are centering a line.
Agreed.
And that's what championship teams do.
They're not a championship team. Don't say that.
Well, they're of that caliber.
No, they're not.
Okay,
They-
they're not.
what do you mean you're of that caliber? You're
Well, I
either
mean,
the champion or you're not.
Fair. So I'm not saying they're the champion.
If you're saying that, then the Oilers are a championship
they're
team.
a championship caliber team.
Ugh, don't say that.
It sucks, but it's true. At least it was last year.
Or having that, it would be the trait of a championship team, even though they're not.
Yeah. So, for example, you'd have like Nugent Hopkins on the wing a ton rather than down the middle because you're just so deep at center. Pittsburgh center, like when they were great. Center. All these teams deep down the middle. That's the one area with the Flames where.
What's wrong with that Nugent Hopkins too? Like, why would he?
Let's not talk about the Oilers.
Okay.
I know that's our
Really
default
doesn't
all
have
the
anything
time. So the Marty Necas, Calgary, they were linked for a little bit before.
Well, he's a
Necas
center.
signed his
How do these
deal.
linkings start? Like,
Well, I think it's just
rumors
like-
and innuendos.
Here's
and
Calgary
some
that really
rum-
could use some centers.
Oh,
Here's
you
Carolina
forget.
that has a whole bunch of centers.
And then the guy's dad goes into the media in Europe and says, they should be playing my boy down the middle, and the contract's not going to.
boy.
And everyone says, they're not going to sign. They're not going to sign. You better trade him. He's got
I'm
arm
gonna
rights.
text my boys, kids, or coach, and say, I want.
is that what you're gonna do? That's good.
Yeah, that always helps.
Thanks,
eh?
Carl Lindros.
Yeah.
That'll work out well.
I know you loved it last year in Buffalo when the parents had pointers for you about their own children's ice time.
I
usage.
text all the dads the other day and said, I miss you, fellows. All of your BS and drunkenness was wonderful.
Mhm.
Kept me on my toes. What are we talking about?
Just kind of, you only see them once. We don't see Carolina here very often, and they're also one of those teams. I don't think it's like Ottawa. They're a bunch of Hurricanes
they are
fans.
the San Jose of
East.
the East.
Yeah.
Honestly, because
Non-traditional market,
When
competitive every
San
year.
Jose was good forever,
Yeah.
they'd come into town. You're like, hey, this is a really good team. Are you excited to go watch them? No, not really.
A little bit, but yeah, not a top.
It
10.
wasn't I have to get
It's not
Sharks
Sid coming to
tickets.
town. It's not the Habs visit.
Yeah,
It's
like
not.
you
I
had
gotta set my
Marlowe and
eyes on
Thornton, which
Bedard.
were superstars. You still weren't.
We got new Flames line combos. If
Oh.
you like, they're skating.
Why are you
obviously.
5-0-1 and you're changing?
Well, there's just some guys coming returning to health. I hope, Brett.
Now I got to test Huska.
Look who's back, boys. Look who's back.
Who?
We gotta keep scanning it. Lower.
I don't want that.
Lower.
Who's out?
Well, where's Pospisil's up to the top line, so Coronado drops to the fourth line.
So Husk
Klapka
thinks
comes out.
Kadri and Kuzmenko
Kirkland's been so good; he's the third line center, and the Rune Dog, likely to be activated off IR today, would slide into fourth line center and play with the Lamborghini. And
What if we'd have told you that
Corn.
by game 6 or game 7 of the year, Kirkland would be centering Huberdeau and Mantha?
You'd probably think that top 5 pick would be looking pretty good. Tell us more with this James Haggins fellow.
I still think that
Vlad Dad.
I don't like this.
What don't you like? Talk to me.
Well, there's tinkering going on, and that means that the coach is seeing some things
Yeah, and to be fair, like
on
if
a
you
5-0-1 squad.
if you look at their last 2 games, Seattle and then obviously the opener of the homestand, there was not nearly the jump in offensive chances created that we saw through the first, which it was obviously they weren't going to score 16 goals every 3 games or whatever, but they've needed a shuffle. They benched Pospisil off that third line, Dean, for the whole second period last game after 2 penalties. The shuffle of the deck isn't surprising here.
Yeah,
You
I
just
guess it's
mentioned
probably
Coronado
what all
was
the
looking a little
undefeated
tired up
teams.
top.
It's probably what all the undefeated teams are doing is shuffling the deck. Makes sense.
He is maybe getting in front of it.
Yes.
I was the guy
You
that sat
said
here
it.
yesterday and said, it's starting to get a little sloppy. It's not quite. They're winning, but it feels like they're prime for a performance that doesn't end in a W. I guess just looking at those lines, it's the Pospisil, rather than going to a fourth line with Lomberg, goes to the top line, if you want to call it that, with Kadri. Coronado
you were
slides.
gonna
Like,
rip.
that's
You were gonna rip Kadri the other day. but
if
then
you
he
want to
scored.
bring, it's not so much Kadri, but if you're going to bring Rooney back, all right, he's a centerman, get him in there.
Mhm.
Kirkland, while he's play, I guess it's just that Pospisil gets that at least to start that spot on the Kadri Kuzmenko line.
That's got some piss and vinegar. Pospisil and Kadri have done things together. Remember last year it was those two and Zeri that became the line that helped pull this team out of the muck after that horrible shirty start.
And Coronado hasn't been undeniable.
No,
by any
not at all.
means.
And Klapka hasn't either. So he comes out. Coronado slides into his spot. Kirkland, you got to leave in the way he's going. And the Rune Dog's healthy.
And just a preview of tomorrow's show that if the Flames do drop this, Rhett will be reinforcing his why would you tinker with a 5-0-1 roster.
Great to get ahead of it
Yep.
till it doesn't work.
Well, hey, look, if it's not working, you can switch back to the regular ones after 20 or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
see what
that's the thing.
happens. These aren't concrete.
It's not.
You two idiots don't know what you're talking about.
All
That's
right.
correct, but we've been doing that for 10 years.
Coming up tomorrow, speaking of tomorrow, we are going to be, now it's a fluid situation. I won't lie to you.
What's fluid because it's beer?
Yeah, it's a liquid situation.
Is that what you're saying? Is that the
It's a delicious, fluid, carbonated,
love how you did
bubbly
that.
situation.
excellent?
Well, the show might be fluid. The situation also is fluid. There's going to be a show tomorrow.
You're the worst.
You said it, brother.
There's going to be a show tomorrow
You tell him, Dino.
that may or may not be here in studio.
Details.
But for sure, there will be.
We'll be doing something
Oh, it'd be a post-game analysis, guaranteed.
at Origin the OC, the brand new spot
Oh, yeah.
for Origin Malting and Brewing. It's the grand opening, don't you know? The doors open at 12 noon right there. They got beer specials, they got food, they got games, they got music, and they got barn burner.
Can we get them to open just a touch early so we can get set up?
Yeah, I want
yeah,
to make
yeah,
sure
yeah.
that we have, the glass is washed and the kegs are flowing nicely before we just open the doors. To
I know Rhett's going to
strangers.
want to run that Ethernet cable.
Mhm.
Make sure that we're
You said ether.
quick through that speed, the speed test to make sure we're 943 28th Street Northeast.
Come join us.
It's like a come and go tea, except
But with
I'm
more
not a big
booze.
tea guy. I know we got some
You're not British enough.
Welsh in my background, but
Welsh.
Rhett is a Welsh name.
do we want to talk out the situation surrounding tomorrow?
Off air, on air?
Yeah, off
Look,
or on
I would say be there at noon, and we're going to live stream and have some fun, and we're going to mess about. No, I'm not guaranteeing a Christmas show performance, but I would say we'll probably have the bills paid and our requirements, of the show done, and then we can just hang out and have beer and not worry about offending anyone. Is that fair?
I don't know what he just said. Sure. So do a pre-show show and then another show.
Faux show.
I like I said.
Do you like it?
I'm an ideas guy. I don't get bogged down by these details.
Dean
BS.
gets bogged down though.
Well, because shit doesn't get done unless Dean gets
Now
bogged
you're using
down.
my word.
We we need to just figure out what we're doing,
Here's what we're doing.
because we could do the show.
Boss.
We could do the show there,
No. He just
or we could not do the show.
We're gonna do a show here at 9:30 to 10. Dragger's gonna join the show. We're gonna do a normal show.
Drags.
Doing a half-hour show,
No, it'll go
9:30 to
till
9:30 to
9:30 to 10 start. Maybe we start a little
okay.
bit early.
Oh,
Yeah, with
gotcha.
that window,
Okay,
yeah.
Got it.
No,
Window
we're not
test.
Yeah.
not a short show. A normal show.
For show.
We'll have Dragger on. It'll be a good show,
Great show.
and we'll pack our
Be a
stuff.
great show,
Hawaiian shirt.
best show.
Ratings are very high. It's a popular show.
You know what,
much
Jack?
more popular than
If you've got the
failing
power to
Oprah
cut
show.
their mics, you just cut their mics and let us know what's going to happen. They're
Yeah.
being idiots.
And then when we're done here, we'll go to Origin, and we'll do another show. Might not
Yeah.
really be a show. Might not be a good show.
Oh, it'll be a good show. It'll be a hell of a show.
Well, that's not
They're
how
gonna
you
say
tease. We're
4.
teasing this show tomorrow. You don't say it's probably might not be any good. It's going to be great.
Okay, it'll be great.
That's why we want people to come.
I've
certainly
got
watch.
another idea.
All right.
Why don't you two come do the show, and then I'll go to Origin to do the other show.
We have
show.
drags. That's not the worst idea I've heard.
And you set everything up for us, right?
Yeah, because I
Yeah,
just said I
technically.
love Ethernet cables.
And then I'll just get early start on my weekend then.
Yeah, you can head off early.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sounds good.
I'll get another start on my weekend too. I'll be lying on the floor of Origin by 2, 3 in the afternoon looking
Yeah.
at the lights.
Don't you
It's
lie. I
perfect.
know what you're gonna have. You're not gonna. You got no free windows this weekend.
It's weird because it's gone from, well, it can't be a runaway because of this. And then it's like, I'm going to be on the floor. Okay. Well, it's
We're having
by
fun.
about 4 o'clock. I'm going to have to.
I've
It's,
bought some time, but I do have to be a
Oh,
responsible human at the end.
Just
of that
drop the
window.
turds at my house. Who cares?
See, he doesn't know
Uber.
them that well. Does
Turds.
He? It's
Yeah.
You know what I live with?
no, but I don't. I think you're.
Here's the other thing. Do your kids have older brothers? Do you want them to get straightened out? Because they can come to my house and my kids can kick the snot out of them.
I'm cool with that.
That's also an option.
I
Because if
just
your
think-
boys get out of hand, I've got 2 yahoos that might lay the smack down.
Yahoo?
The other one's out of town. Yeah, I just don't discount the loony toony lunatic quotient on. There's some
Or they
squirrely-
might get along glowingly.
Yeah,
Cause all kinds of
thicker
hell.
than thieves.
Thieves.
Next thing you know, your docks are floating at the center of the
Oh,
lake.
that was a great discussion.
It was.
What's the
So tomorrow.
text line thinking? What are they recommending?
They
They're
just
talking about whether Zeri should be a center.
Oh, Jesus.
Good question.
That is deep.
Yeah.
Deep. You know what'll happen? I'm going to tell all the folks out there that are wondering. There will come a point in time during the 24-25 season.
Yep.
There's a thing called the injury bug.
There's a
illness.
thing called the
It will show up,
illness.
and Zeri or Connor, Calgary Connor, will play center. He will get his opportunity.
Do you have a breaking news alert there?
I don't. Not for that.
That's why you tune in on daily.
Crazy.
Scary. The old injury bug.
Zeri. Illness.
Connor Calgary, I'm going to start calling him.
Or Calgary Connor.
Why is it better that way?
Connor Calgary? Like it. Let's do the Pinder Report.
It's probably a good idea.
Located in the Northwest Auto Mall, online at villagehonda.com. In stock inventory. We talked about the CRV. The Honda Pilot was redesigned a couple years ago.
Below.
And everything is standard. Everything you could want, all of the safety features. I mean, it parks itself for you. It lets you know you're getting too close. Hey, psst, stupid, don't park there. There's something in your rear view.
Seated heats.
They have seated heats. It's
Do you remember that one?
Technology and stuff.
it's got so much of that
Right.
in the new
Yes.
the Honda Pilot. Take one for a rip. Village Honda, your dealership for life. They are
I'm
located-
not real technologically smart.
But they are. So
Yeah,
that's
they're
good.
truly in
That's
their
why you
hands.
trust the
That's
pilot.
why it's your dealership for life.
Ryan Pinder.
Pinder Report.
Calgary Flames game day. Oh, if you like the Blasties, it's a double down, friend.
Nice.
Yeah, there he is. AI looking good out there at number 20. It's Blake Coleman, right? And yes, it's the only visit of the season for the Canes, which you've talked about.
Resting on their laurels with the jerseys. They're making lineup changes.
Resting, staying hot.
Okay.
You see that last minute game tying goal and empty net behind him?
No idea.
Drama and overtime. You can't be changing the jerseys. You change the lines, Rhett.
Yeah, that makes way more sense.
Yeah.
Don't change your underwear or your jerseys. Change the lines. There they are, the Kings of the Pacific, Dane.
I like
11
that name.
points and 6
Kings of the
games.
Pacific.
The LA plays there. That's why it's confusing,
Oh,
though, because
Shit, yeah.
if I say
that's
Kings
it.
of the Pacific,
Oh,
you might look at the
who's
fourth
the
place team.
Yeah, Kings. I thought.
What about the
fourth.
Knights of the? No, that doesn't work either. Okay, they're first place, 5-0-1. We'll see how long they can go without a regulation loss. And they've started their 3-game homestand with a point, 1 of 2. Got Winnipeg coming up. This is not an easy little homestand. 3 good guys. Nobody gets hurt.
It's true.
We'll see how it goes. Here's your sked. And there's the rest of the homestand. And then that little
You know what?
2-game roadie.
They got to win this game so that Saturday night is a face-off between
undefeated
squads.
squads. In regulation, yeah.
Woo, and I'll be at
Point
that
streaks.
game. I'll be at that game.
Will
No,
you?
I'm going to be at that game.
Do note the early start time for that game.
5.
5 on Saturday, 7 tonight, before they head out for what would you call that? A desert swing, Vegas to Salt Lake.
I wouldn't.
Really?
Well, you say desert.
Oh, dessert, delicious. The
I've
Commie.
got ice cream cake in the freezer if you guys want to.
You've mentioned this ice cream cake.
In this
thought
freezer?
I want to
thought
get rid of it.
You were not an ice cream cake
I'm
guy.
not. I
That's
didn't
why he's
eat
trying to
it.
get rid
That's
of
why
it.
it's still there.
If he was
Jack,
a fan, he'd be gone.
want some ice
Send
cream
your
cake?
kids over. They can have some
I
ice
get
cream.
farty and
Yeah, the dairy. I don't know.
Milk.
Milk was a bad idea.
yeah, milk was a bad choice.
Do you prefer regular cake or ice cream cake? Some
Regular.
people really like the ice cream cake.
No way.
Angel food is my sneaky dark horse.
My pants last night.
It
Really
makes
good.
me
Will
feel
you
good.
speak English to me?
Angel food cake. No? All right, we'll move on.
What are you, 12?
Delicious,
Was
light.
there money in the cake?
Fluffy. I hope not. That's dirty,
Dirty
dirty,
dimes.
greasy, dirty.
Gross.
Dug out of the ground.
Did you ever have that, though?
Yes,
Of course
I'm
you do.
breaking your teeth.
Jack, did you ever have that in your birthday cake?
Loons and tunes.
No.
Loons and tunes.
This was
Yeah,
before the loons and
nickels,
tunes days.
maybe.
Quarts and
Maybe
dimes.
some
and
quarters.
nicks. Get some blue noses in
You
there.
got a quarter. You had the best piece. Your mom knew where the quarter was, and that was for the birthday boy.
Right.
People know what we're talking about, don't they?
I think so.
People over the
When-
age of 40, dude.
Yeah, when we were kids, for whatever reason,
Can you imagine the shit
they'd be
you'd get in now?
have the old bowl with the cake batter in there, and then just dump a handful of change in there, I guess, is what
Yes.
you do.
Yeah, like it's some good luck pond
Yeah.
with koi fish. You just flip some coins in there.
And then when you're eating the birth, you got your party
Blow the
and all your
candles
buddies are
out.
over. There might be a surprise in the cake there for you.
Oh,
Who put this shirt in here?
you would get thrown in jail.
I was just
now.
going to say you would do time.
Yeah.
Because some kid would swallow it and then they.
Yeah.
I was allergic to nickel.
What is that saying about shitting nickels?
Don't know.
I'll Google it. Ryan, back to you.
Shirting nickels. Carolina, we looked at
Paid
their
a
lines
dime
and
and only
pairs.
farted,
Let's just zip right through to the Metro division. The Kings of the Metro. Well, not
Hey!
really. They're kind of in the middle of the pack, but this division I don't
Terrible
think is very
name
good.
for a
I think
division.
the Rangers, Devils, and Hurricanes are good. I have a lot of questions about the rest here. Carolina, just look at the games played column. That'll tell a bit of the story. They aren't mid. They just haven't played much. This is their division with the Rangers and the Devils to fight over. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I don't.
We
not
missed
as,
it.
I'm not as again. They're the San Jose. I'm not as excited about the Canes. I respect them.
Yeah, I agree.
Good. If the Rangers come to town, damn
Very
right.
excited. Yeah, if the Rangers, oh my gosh, kicking. You get Adam fought. Look at this guy here.
Yeah.
Like, Spinach could fire it. Oh man, Panarin, the best goalie in the league. Carolina, like, yeah, they're just a good team.
Yeah.
I thought Svet should be this high flying sniper. Like, maybe 25, 30, not 45, 50. I don't know.
Go watch.
Go watch.
You doing a show after tonight?
Go watch your structure. I'm doing the show tonight.
Oh,
Cammie and myself tonight for Afterburner. Lock in on that. We missed a great scrap a couple nights ago.
I didn't.
You didn't miss it? So you watched it or you're not missing it?
I saw it.
Wouldn't say I was missing it.
Exactly. How about
This is how
This
the
was the
frenzy
opener.
kicked
This is the
off.
frenzy.
that's how you do
yeah.
it? Oof. They're throwing them, boys.
Whew.
It is some kind of a
Some
tilt.
kind of a tilt.
One of the worst adjectives, some kind of a, to describe anything.
To me, it's a Lubardiism.
It is, this is some kind of special.
That's some kind of blank was always a Lou.
Yeah.
We
That's
should
true.
call Lou.
Love Lou.
It's called Lou.
We should call Lou.
Jack?
Get Lou on the horn.
Call Lou.
You call Lou?
Not
Lou?
Lamorello.
He'd never answer our calls.
Never.
No, yeah. Did you hear the story about his phone in
I
Jersey?
don't want to know.
No.
It's not good. So he got the job in Toronto. He moved from New Jersey to Toronto. He's like, "Hey, did you put the the cord in so my phone line can't get tapped?" They're like, no, sir, I don't know what that is." And they're like, "In New Jersey, I had
Yeah.
a special cord so the phone couldn't be tapped, so no one can listen to my phone calls. I'd like you to install that into my new phone here in Toronto as I'm going to be the general manager."
Right.
And so the Toronto IT guy's like, "I have no idea." So they literally called Jersey, like, "Yeah, we just put a red cord in." And it goes nowhere under his desk. Told him it was hitting taps.
Hi, just wondering, where is my closet of murder and hammers? You got any? Because
Oh,
in Jersey, I had a
yeah.
closet of hammers
Mhm.
that I used to murder people.
Right.
I don't want to talk. There's going to be horror stories come out after years.
No, don't.
That's
Ryan, back
sounds
to you.
ominous. Oh, that's the saddest Ryan back to you I've ever. Ryan, back to you.
Well, we had Mac T and the Clink, and now we got Lou.
Hey, what? I'm stating facts. He is wildly speculating.
I'm not speculating about anything.
You know what would be the kind of speculation we like around here? Speculating on a hot young prospect player. Because when you're 15 years old, you're not supposed to be this good at hockey. Landon DuPont, 3 assists last night, his second 3-point game in the last 2 weeks, 16 points in 11 games, 15 years old, and no, not a forward, Dean, a defenseman in the Western League. He's 9th in league scoring at 15 years of age. This is bonkers.
I was going to say selfish, but they're assists.
It's not selfish. It's even better. Rhett.
I can't. What do you? Yes.
There's not much you can.
I was only
Can we
the only thing
sign
I was
him?
going to add to this was go buy your tickets to the WHL game because he's going to sell out.
Like, what do you? He's 15.
Mm-hmm.
He's already very good. By next year, he'll be too good for this league.
I
He's
think
still
he
not
should go to
draft
Europe.
eligible. Like, go play in Switzerland, like Austin Matthews. What are you going to do?
His dad played there.
It's true. Dad was a great.
He
pro
might
in
be
Europe.
Swiss. He could do it.
He's got a passport. I
He's
bet.
got a passport,
Wow.
which would suck for the
Well, they get 2 years
For the Four Nations Cup when he's playing for Switzerland.
No, it's just for.
McKenna had 2 goals last night, I believe, as well, and for Medicine Hat, or the night before.
Steve.
Young kids. So good.
I've got a great story about
Medicine Hats plays the Hitmen on the day before Halloween, the 30th, and there's people are very excited about the game. You got Basha, Lidstrom's hurt again, of course.
Basha went
Corbet's
and had a talk
kid,
with my kids
McKenna.
down in the Hat.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Good kid.
real motivator.
Yeah, it was against the Hitmen. I don't know when it was, but it was
Last night,
McKenna. Couple
McKenna.
goals, Basha.
McKenna.
Yeah.
Basha. And Lindstrom's hurt again. Yeah, the Columbus took
Yeah, you said
over.
bad back.
Fuck, yes.
Well, I wanted him to come here. Maybe we're lucky.
Maybe. Bad back. You know who they thought?
How's your Achilles, by the way?
Don't know. I'm
Ryan's kind of, you know what? You're
I
humble.
think it's a goutish type thing.
were a
If it's
little-
shout- Well, why can't it be?
because
You're a little
gout's a
gimpy.
joint
No,
issue.
it's not. That is
Okay,
a
it's-
misconception.
So it is not uric acid buildup in a joint. It crystallizes.
It can be uric acid buildup. Doesn't have to be in a joint.
Okay. So you're thinking I have tendon uric acid buildup?
Why not?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Exactly,
Jack,
and
can you call
I
a
am.
Doctor, please.
you seem to be fairly sure that it's
Well,
not,
I've
though.
just never heard of gout not in a joint, so maybe I'm out to
You are
lunch.
gouty though,
I'm hobbly.
but
Gimpy.
you are prone to gout. You've had flare-ups.
What do you mean?
Oh,
I've had Rick flare-ups.
that's right. That was him coming up the stairs today.
Every other step. Woo! 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 Pinder was
All right,
It's a
Ryan.
long staircase.
Back to you.
Back to me. Thursday night football tonight, fellas. It's an interesting
A
one.
juggernaut?
Well, look who you have here. You got the castaway, Sam Darnold, and the nearly undefeated Vikings, who took one in the teeth late against Detroit.
So close. They
And
could,
Matt Stafford, who couldn't win in that division, came to LA, won a Super Bowl, but the Rams are kind of flirting with the idea of maybe rebuilding on the fly if they don't get a win here tonight. Cup has been linked to teams that want a wide receiver. We've seen 3 significant wide receiver trades already this year. Steelers are in on everything. They just don't actually get the guy. Ask Jack.
They got Tomlin. They don't need.
That's right. Tomlin can go play wide receiver. And the interesting thing, Stafford has been linked to these Vikings. But if Darnold plays well tonight, there's a better chance of that trade actually happening, because then a Rams loss, they'd be actually in sell mode, not a game out of first in the division. It's wild. Nice art though there.
Sam up for MVP Darnold.
Yeah, because they drafted JJ McCarthy, who's going to be their guy next year. You'd think, right? Dino, like done for the year, but
Yep.
you'd take him in the very high in the first round.
He's gonna have to.
There was no, I mean, even those guys, there's no
No.
way you could see what Darnold, that this was
I've
coming.
always
Okay.
respected the talent.
How's your fantasy team doing?
Not so good.
Okay. You still don't want to trade for James Cook, eh? I thought you're
Well,
best friend.
I don't trust that anything you offer me is of best
I
intent.
agree.
Do you know what I mean?
He will not
Like,
accept a trade, even if it was like, hey, Rhett,
It's
take this guy
James
for free. He's
Cook.
like,
He's a
why?
bill,
am I
like,
doing
No, I mean, you're a
that?
crumb.
Like you
In
think
fairness.
you're thinking 7 steps ahead, and I'm looking. Oh, Cook, because he's a bill. I'd like that.
It's like a Pinder is
That's the
sent you a
hope.
trade offer. It's like, well, how
Delete.
Yeah,
Don't even
where
read
do
it.
I?
Don't even
obnoxious
read it.
is this going to be?
The trade offers obnoxious. God bless you. Back to me, Dean. We have every week there's an injury report for teams, because mostly gambling, but also because you want
Yeah, it
to
would
know.
have been nice to have that before.
Yeah, the Christian McCaffrey
Yeah.
injury report, that's drawn some heat. Never seen this before. There's foot, shoulder, ankle, wrist, knee, shoulder, foot. Okay. Other jury duty. That's Brandon Aubrey, the kicker for the Cowboys, missing practice for jury duty.
Jerry Judy?
Yes, Jerry
Jerry
Judy?
I thought he played for Cleveland.
Jared Duty? Is he working with the owner?
Oh,
Jared?
Jared Duty.
That's
Gets called in for a real.
Cowboys
big
were trying to
case.
get him out because he's, if not the best, one of the top 2 or 3 kickers in the league.
That's
And
a
they
monster
Jerry
kick.
said, we gotta get you out of this. He said, no, I'm a citizen. This is what I do.
It's debt to society.
That's
or
right.
something?
It's a terrible thing.
Jerry
you
Duty?
fucking idiot. You're our kicker. We're coming off a bye. We need a goddamn win.
Hope your head was
I
in
got
it.
the meaty all over my ass. You go jury duty?
Hope your goddamn head was in it. Diablo sandwich. So yeah, that's, you know what, Ryan? That's crazy stuff right there. Jury duty. Oh,
Crazy.
man, I can't
I
believe
want
it
to know
either.
what kind of case it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hopefully it's not sticky.
Because then you know what they got to do? They got to do some sequestering.
You don't want a hung jury.
No.
That would take up a lot of time.
And you'd be pissed off if you you got to go, you go through all of that and then the jury gets hung. It's like, well, what was this? What was
Oh, we just waste all the time.
this is kind of for
We're
nothing.
back at square one, D.
Oh, was that good for the defendant?
Well, I mean,
Better
than being
Hung.
guilty.
do they hang people in Texas still?
I don't think so. It's probably on the ballot this
Well, I
year.
think they do, but I don't think yeah. Maybe that's why he's there.
If you missed it, Pat Mahomes, not the favorite to win MVP, but why? His team 6-0, Dean. I mean, what the hell's 7 touchdowns, 8 picks? What? They're 6-0? Imagine if the guy's playing well.
You talk about
Jeez.
personnel and scheme, and because they have not looked great.
No, every game you're like,
Mahomes
just
has
avert your eyes, but they got it done somehow.
6-0. Find ways to do it.
Jerks.
No, it's the same as before. Andy Reid.
Yeah.
Coaching matters. Tom Brady. Pfft, it's Bill Bills.
It's not Randy Reid. It's Andy Reid. He's good. He knows what he's doing.
Who's Randy Reid?
Well, you can't
Another
trust
Randy?
Randy. That's my point.
What about
Trust that
Tara
guy.
Reid? Remember her?
Yeah.
Yes.
She kind of spun off though.
Is she on Baywatch?
L.A.
Nope. Don't think so.
Mm-mm.
Would she fit in on Baywatch?
She'd have fit in, yeah.
Mhm.
Blonde and
Then got into the darts and the
lovely.
wild turkey.
really. Yeah, some of those Baywatch
Yeah.
girls did though. The Clippers got a brand new arena just for basketball. Though, what do we
I
call it?
don't know
Arena? Event center, stadium,
news.
stadia,
Yeah, it's a
infrastructure.
it's a multi-sport complex.
Billions and billions and billions. Now, there's lots of little features about this. Remember when the Atlanta Falcons opened, what is it, Mercedes-Benz,
Mhm.
their huge one, and it had that ring. So rather than a Jumbotron in the middle, it's just a ring. No matter where you're sitting, you look across into the ring. This has got that in an event center, which is super fancy. And they have this thing called the wall, which is a super steep area behind one of the hoops, which is essentially standing room right behind one of the nets where the craziest fans go.
Mhm.
And so Steve Ballmer, who's an insane certified insane human, and massively wealthy, very excited about his new rink. And he's again, weird, funny, hilarious, loves his Clippers. Let's go.
Game's going crazy. Let's go Clippers. Resonating, or, he's not our guy, whatever. You can see what the view is of the scoreboard.
Yeah.
There is just no bad place. This is it, man. We've been working on this for 9 years, but I can just hear boom, boom, boom. Our standing room only supporters going, let's go Clippers. The building's erupting. Ball goes up. Boom. We're telling the story to everybody of what's going on up on this scoreboard. Boom. We get a little bit of a lead. Boom. The other side comes back. Our fans get into it. They help propel our guys, and boom. Clips win. Game 1.
You guys got the same drug dealer as John Gruden. That's all I know. That
That
looks
man.
awesome.
Is worth over $150 billion.
You got to have the energy, Dean.
Yeah, it's the only thing holding you back.
Remember what Kirsch used to tell you? You could be that guy if you'd have listened to Kirsch.
That's not a
Energy. You got to have
Somebody
energy,
said-
Dean.
I remember
Yeah.
him saying
Bring
that.
the energy.
God almighty.
You know what I remember him saying?
Right? Yeah, energy.
Because Microsoft, right? That was
Sure.
where he made his money.
Well,
Technology.
In not
com-
Kirsch,
yeah,
but,
said input.
definitely not Kirsch. He's
Not
a Luddite.
Kirsch. Yeah. But they
He's- Jesus.
well, I had, you know what? I'll jump in because we don't need to talk about the Intuit Dome twice.
Yeah, no.
Because I was
He was
looking at-
researching too.
it's amazing.
It's nuts.
They visited over 100 arenas worldwide, 9 years to put it together. That Halo thing.
How many years?
How many times could we have
I'm-
done
I
it?
mean,
It's
Jesus
I'm not
Nine
sure. It's just
times.
amazing how often it's come up.
It
today.
does.
It's wild.
It is. Yeah.
There's
crazy.
the wall. That's and look at this thing. The ring.
They call
That's
it
what
the
you need.
they call it the Halo.
Yeah.
It's dual-sided. So it's not like you're just seeing it. It's,
Really?
So the nosebleeds look on the outside, and if you're down low, you look up into
Is
the
it
inside.
backwards.
It's not
No,
backwards.
no,
No.
there's two sides to it.
They
It's the
have-
exact same as the Atlanta one, which was the first NFL stadium to have it.
They have a bunch of t-shirt cannons
Oh my
on the
God.
top of the thing that
Just
can hit. They made sure can hit every seat in the building.
That is
I like
unbelievable.
that because some seats are no good for getting the T-shirt.
Every
That's
seat
true.
can, and there's the wall. which is 51 rows, no suites. There's a small kind of
It's like a railing.
an aisle
Yeah.
where you can walk by, but he wanted no disturbance to a
Fans.
wall of fans, and
You
that
have
wall.
to have a season pass. Can't sell the
Yeah,
tickets.
you
It's
can't,
hardcore
you
zone.
can't wear the other team's jerseys. They'll
Yeah.
make you change. You can't. You have to buy it through the Clippers fan.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
You don't have your pass. You don't get in. Can't sell them. And they're the hardcores right there.
$2 billion arena. Now this is great.
U.S.
James Dolan, who's the Knicks owner,
Duster.
filed a lawsuit to stop the arena's construction because he owns the Great Western Forum. Also, is part of the group that owns the Sphere in Vegas,
Yeah.
owns Madison Square Garden.
Good
Yeah.
for James.
He's like, I got the Forum.
Jimmy.
I don't need you building this
Better than
this
the
Intuit
Forum.
Dome
Yeah.
within 5 miles of my.
Mhm.
So he sued him.
Mhm.
So what do you do when you're a billionaire and you've got FU money?
Pay him and build it anyway.
I'm just going to buy the Forum off of you. Here's 400 million in cash. Bought the Forum to get rid of Dolan and legal issues.
Go away, you
Illegal
duster.
BS.
What is it going to cost? It's going to be like 400 million.
Good. Done.
Do you take cash? Like, holy shit.
Can I e-transfer that much, or what do I do? Do you have PayPal?
They signed a 23-year naming rights deal with Intuit worth 500 million.
Look at the screen.
The arena has 1,160 toilets, 3 times more than the average NBA.
It's a lot
It's
of toilets.
One
dude.
toilet for every
Come on,
15
Flames
seats.
Arena.
It does feel like one of those things. If dumb guys like us, well, what do you want? Well, I'm going to need some shitters for sure.
Well, how big is the screen going to be? Bigger?
It's
bigger?
got to be bigger.
Bigger?
Both
This is the biggest in the world.
sides? Yeah.
Bigger.
And t-shirt cannons that can hit it.
Every seat, sir.
Every
You're
seat.
a lunatic.
You can. They've got the facial recognition for your concessions.
So you
So
walk in and
just walk in,
charge card.
boop, take what you want. They spent millions to upgrade the traffic control, so it's easy to get in.
So
easy to get out.
they've even dealt with the roadways.
Yeah. 51 rows of uninterrupted seating from floor to ceiling. And double-sided 360-degree scoreboard. And all the seats are heated with USB charging ports. And they have
Is it cold. in
Seated
it?
heats?
and they
What?
have like a controller, like almost like an Xbox or whatever controller, so you can play games during stoppages and vote.
Oh, so
you
yeah,
don't
like
wanna be
hey,
bored.
no, it'd be like which it's
That
the
was-
power boat race. Is it the green boat or the red boat? You got to pick one. There's a little thing on your.
That was his thing. He said, I don't want people standing in line for a shitter, and I don't
Right.
stay in your seats. In the suites, as soon as the game's on, the TV's shut off.
Amazing.
Get out there and watch.
You're here for the.
You're here to watch the game. Get out there and watch.
So this is basically a preview of the new Soundalone, right?
Oof.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
1,100.
And
No
I-
expense spared.
I
Owner
read
all
something
in.
else. I think they estimated 5 to 6 kitchens is what the norm is
For a facility.
for a
this size.
facility like that, for the different types. They have like 30 kitchens.
Well,
Jeez.
I like variety. This is great.
When you're a billionaire,
Yeah, why not?
I've got 152. This is going to cost you $2 billion. Oh, is it?
He's 15 to 18% of a trillionaire.
Jesus.
Like billionaires kind of feels light. That's not doing him justice.
Like, holy cow. So I think
All
it's
because
cool.
of Kirsch's advice.
Yeah.
Energy.
And people take runs out. Oh, this guy, you know what? He loves his team and he wants to do everything they can. They even have, when the visiting team walks in, they have the digital boards that put their logos and shit up.
Mhm.
They have unmatched in the dressing room. They have the whole spas, the whole thing.
What with technology?
So they don't have to jump in the lake
Yeah.
for the cold.
So when they come, this is amazing.
Don't want to
If our-
leave.
If our locker room's like this, what's the home locker room like? So pretty cool.
I was actually thinking about this.
That's why Kawhi left Toronto, because he wanted to be
I
part
was
of this
thinking about
legacy.
this. If you were a player,
Yeah.
when are they going to start adding homes
Homes.
right to the?
Well, they got in Edmonton, the hotel's attached to the rink, kind of. So if you're there from the trade deadline on, you probably just live there.
I'm
That's
talking
close.
about.
Yeah.
You don't need to buy a house. There's a house. You can walk out. The
Yeah, it's
back.
right there.
I would think you would encourage people to not
Like
live
if
at
the
work.
Flames, if Murray bought that hill behind the dome there,
Yeah.
built all the fellas some
Yeah,
some shacks, the whole team right there.
Yeah.
Who's driving? Don't have to drive.
Party at whose house
Down
tonight?
these stairs.
The worst seat at that rink,
Yeah.
or whatever you want to call it, that arena, compared to the jobbing.com, whatever it is, where the Clippers used to play, Worst seat to worst seat, 55 feet closer at this new place. So no matter what it is,
Is that what crypto is now?
worst
Jobber.com?
is that because it went to
Crypto
Is it crypto?
in
Yeah.
downtown LA. Yeah. Used to be
Staples
Staples
Center.
before that. Yeah.
Yeah. So the worst seat at Staples Center.
Yeah.
55 feet closer to the action. at
Well,
this
and
place.
we're seeing that a bunch in Brooklyn and in Salt Lake. You have basketball specific rinks, and what happens when you put hockey in? It's too tight. We can't see one of the nets. So when you're just an NBA one, you can make it tighter than Staples / crypto, which has to be everything for everyone and can't be as tight.
True.
Toit. Looks like somebody landed. I've got a roaming notification.
Ryan, back to you.
Yeah, love the dome there, whatever they're calling that thing, the Intuit Dome thing, Stadia.
Place.
Had some soccer, some footy yesterday. Not only a big day in Champions League, but also the CPL semi-quarter sort of final. The 4 versus 5 match. York ends Pacific season. They'll go to Atletico Ottawa this weekend. And the big one coming up this weekend. Saw a few of the fellas yesterday, 2 members of the team. Cavalry goes to Hamilton this weekend to play Forge. Winner hosts the final. Loser will host the winner of that quarterfinal between Atletico and York. So that's the
any
update.
insight.
They're feeling good. It's a long year, but they're ready to go kick some ass in Hamilton.
Long year. They play once.
It is a long year.
You guys just contradicted each other there.
Well, it's a long year. They're not busy.
Playing
Not
twice
like
a
you
week.
got
Yeah, the season is
3 and
long. It's
4.
not
It's
games.
long because
One
they
game a
drag
week.
it out.
It's true.
Play more.
Maybe just play like 30 days in a row and then have the season over in a month. Idea guy. And the finals is going to be on TV, which is kind of cool. CBC Sports is going to carry that. It's not been easy to find the product on the cables, but there it is. November 9, your final. Let's hope that one's a Cavalry, and it is
9
snowy
times.
and cold, and whichever group of jerks comes in gets their asses handed to them by the Cavs. Let's
Yeah.
go. Yeah. Finally, we've reinvented the Pinder Report.
Oh,
Too
I
much
thought you were gonna say
negativity.
The wheel.
Surprisingly, of all people, the negativity coming from Dean about the content of the Pinder Report. And we do take feedback here, and I'm open to feedback. Rhett, I know you've been making suggestions. Moving forth, here's a suggestion for the Pinder Report. Fat guys singing, bring back the Snakes and Aussies. Thank you, Carl.
Beat it, Carl. You duster.
Is Carl a jerk name too? Good Carl. Is Carl Lindros a jerk?
Yep.
Carl Alsner, good guy.
Carl Dykehouse.
Tough.
So some guy named Carl sends you a message, and that's the trump card.
No, that was one that got sent to Jack. It was in the comments.
That was in the
laughed about
comments of last show.
it. We
Oh.
laughed about it because we were singing yesterday.
Were we
obviously.
singing?
You wanted Snakes. We've been singing like a week
I
straight.
don't
We're on a
even
heater
remember
for
singing.
singing.
Yeah, fuck off, Carl.
Yeah, that's your Pinder Report. And we'll
Brought
see
to you
tomorrow.
by Village Honda. Huge selection of used vehicles, pre-owned, in fact. All makes, all models, all budgets. Over 90 on-site access to more than 500 more inside the dealership group. It is why Village Honda is your one-stop automotive destination in Calgary. They're worth the trip. Village Honda, Northwest Auto Mall. Yeah.
Isn't there a Rob Kerr? FU something or other?
Yeah, that's Randy. Hey, Pat.
Yeah, that was a...
That's Randy.
Hey, Pat,
Yeah, bring back Ron.
Not nice.
Something in.
Oh,
Randy was, in a mood.
Not nice.
I'm guessing the Flames lost that night. The
Yeah,
tone of the
there's-
calls really change when that happens.
Because you know what? You can't just take... When people message, it's like, oh, well, this is a
Like a
normal person. This is a very nice
It's a
message.
rational human for sure.
Like I grabbed a couple of things. Well, I grabbed the one off of I guess somebody on Twitter or whatever.
Mhm.
Wanted people, they were going to celebrate with great news that a family member had been sick, but they had, so you go and because you expect people to, that's great,
That's heartwarming.
that's tremendous. But this is for people like Carl.
Mhm.
This is what happens when guys like Carl get involved. My aunt woke up from a 13-year coma.
Oh my god.
She's missed 0 Sabres playoff games.
Oh my god.
I mean,
Oh my god. That is so epic. 13 years, guys. We didn't work together 13 years ago.
for Brooke, Brooke's got the blue check mark. I guess you could just pay for that. But well, and if from the guy's a barn burner,
Welcome back.
that's great for your aunt.
aunt.
Welcome back, Auntie.
Your aunt. 13 years is a long time.
It doesn't seem real, but
And I didn't fact check the Sabres thing, but it was beyond the fact. It's just that's kind of in poor taste.
Rhett, when was your last season you got a paycheck in the NHL?
09.
Okay, so not quite.
Not quite.
God, that would have been special. Jerome McGinley was captaining the Flames when
13
went into that.
There's no twittering.
Not sure.
Sorry.
We'll do our football picks tomorrow.
Yes,
But is it still looking like Tua will be back for the
it
Dolphins?
is. They're tracking. And Tyreek held a press conference. Who said, "We
Well,
back,
what?
baby. We're back in business."
Jumped on it. I would have too. I didn't know.
They're also playing the Cardinals, and guess what game
Ooh.
comes out today or is out?
COD.
Yeah, COD.
No, and Kyler's.
So Kyler's
Kyler's
gonna be-
sauce.
And so he
What's
was
COD?
before he got
Call
his
of Duty.
Call of Duty. It's like a fighting game.
Great
shoot 'em up video
fish.
game.
I don't steal
Fish
the
and
videos
chips.
that Boom's got, but essentially, he was sort of outed as a COD addict right around the time he needed a contract extension. The team was kind of like, "Well, I wish
Oh
you
yeah,
were
they
this
had those
focused
weird
about-"
stipulations.
Yeah, we would pay Kyler, but
I don't know.
doesn't do a lot of game film.
And then they kind of looked around and were like, he's actually way better than anyone else we've got. And now he's actually a poster boy and a paid spokesman for COD. So they've got
Just
him
making lots
kneeling
of
on
money.
the
That's
sideline.
That's right.
Yeah,
So yeah, Tyreek,
exciting.
yeah, he was excited. Because if you are in fantasy football and you've had Tyreek, or if you've had
Waddle.
Jalen Waddle, or if you've had any of the members of the
Achane,
offense,
Mostert.
it's been a rough go. So the hope is with Tua back that all of them will spring back to life. Tyreek is confident.
We're back, baby. Strike up the fucking band. We're back, baby. Start me this week, baby. Let's go.
Do you have Tyreek?
No, he's a Dolphin. Can't stand the Dolphins.
Strike up
The bleeping.
and band.
Okay, that's great. Love the enthusiasm. If you're Tua,
Mhm.
when are you deciding that? Oh, I might have to live for a year or two after I'm done playing.
Well, when you were Paul Correa, when did you? I mean, I think it's. Yeah.
How about that's a great example, Tua?
Yeah. He's 26. He loves one thing in his life more than anything else. I don't know. I mean, it's his decision to make, not ours.
How
but
about this? As somebody who appreciates this sort of thing, what if somebody figured they were going to tell you how to run your life? Somebody that had maybe little
I'll
to no
tell you
affiliation.
this. I wished I'd have had someone come into my life and say, if you just tidied it up a touch. No, I'm not talking 50%. I'm talking 10.
just round
You
off the
could
edges a little.
really
Yeah.
extend things and feel better about yourself.
That's why I came
Are
into your
you-
life. I'm here to tell you what
No,
to do.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
are you sure that there wasn't, or did you just tell him to fucking beat it?
No, my dad told me I should drink beer instead of whiskey, but I mean, that's about it.
Well, that's
Yeah.
just good parenting. Let's get into the Great Clips inbox. Great Clips. More than 4,400 hair salons throughout the United States and Canada. Great Clips is the world's largest hair salon brand and official hair salon of the NHL. Salons are locally owned and operated, open 7 days a week. Your time is valuable. That's why with the Great Clips check-in app, you'll see the wait time. You don't need to be putting your day on just stop everything. I got to get here. It's on your phone. You can see the wait time. You know what kind of time you have, get some stuff done. Then with the Ready Next text alert, you can opt in for it. You'll get that text when your time hits about 15 minutes.
I feel like if you've had that and you switch to something else, it's going to be like, what are we doing here?
What am I doing?
Why isn't
it's
everyone
going
else
back
doing
in
this?
time? It's like the
Yes.
Stone Age. Greatclips.com is the website. Great Clips. It's going to be great. We will go to the Great Clips inbox here. Again, if you want to take part, we've been telling you all week, or if you do it right now, I guess.
Comments, I guess.
The email address to get involved, Great Clips inbox at flamesnation.ca. That is that's the hookup for that right there.
I'm getting chirped here. I don't know if that's
Are you?
inbox, but
Oh,
I
what?
did laugh pretty hard.
This is from Mark. Are we did you put it up? Pinder keeps string like a fish. He'll need to wear a guardian cap. Well, yeah.
I love it.
Maybe you need somebody to just step in and have a talk with you. What do they call that?
Intervention.
Yeah.
Great show.
This is from Mark. At one point, Rhett mentioned a hip cover band. What was the name of that band? What are the chances BB would hold an event with them as a draw to the show?
I've thought about it for years, but I'm just an idea guy. So every year around Stampede, I'm like, I should bring the Strictly Hip, that's the name of the band, out to Calgary to play a couple shows because they can also do some country cover and they're excellente.
And if you do recall, I believe it was about 6 to 8 Stampedes ago, Rhett did open a honky tonk with his pals.
That's right.
His worst went country. For
Yes, it
Stampede.
did. Yes, it did. Here's the other catch to that question is when I marry my next wife, they played at my first wedding. Just as a tradition, I will include them. I'll invite them back. Jeremy Hoyle and the boys.
Okay.
So you're more loyal to the band. What the hell are you talking about your second wife? You
We'll pass the
asshat?
boot around and pay the band.
Is that what you do?
Yes.
Pass the boot around.
Was it an empty bottle of whiskey? You'd roll up some 20s into?
Whatever.
You gotta smash it.
You all right?
Did you know ran a honky tonk on Stampede?
Did you have to tinkle? You picked the most interactive segment of the show to go and.
Yeah, I really had to tinkle.
Timing's everything.
This is from Russ. I was having a conversation with my 2 teenage daughters. I made a reference of kryptonite, blank stares, and crickets. It was at that moment I realized I had failed them. I started to think, what else have I missed? So far on the watch list is Superman, Rocky, and Dumb and Dumber. Jack, have you seen the original Superman?
I think I have, but I don't remember it.
That's from Russ. He's asking if you've seen it.
If I've seen it? Yes, I have.
Okay.
I believe so.
Keep the other ones too, because there's an important one in there that we need to have haven't seen.
And then he's asking, fellas, what old school movies would you recommend? That's from Russ in the Deer Go Bills.
Can I
Go.
say this? Our version of old school is really old school.
Yeah, Dumb and Dumber is new school. Like to suggest that's old school.
Yeah,
it's
that
got
was
me laughing.
That's in my regular rotation.
Jack,
still.
please tell me you've seen Dumb and Dumber. Like if
Yeah, those aren't that old.
oh, okay, I was getting worried.
94.
So Tommy Boy would be
They
of that
are
era.
that old.
Wayne's World, Tommy Boy. That's sort of like if you're worried about your daughters
Mhm.
being brought up right, those are good ones to throw in there.
I think of it as movies where people are going to have references.
Commando. I was thinking about having the kids watch Commando.
I was saying
3
earlier, he
boys
doesn't
to
wear
get
underwear.
wound up.
Yeah. Because there's comedies, and then there's the war movies,
Mhm.
but then there's just others that are kind of
Iconic.
Like Shawshank Redemption is
Yeah,
people are going to be referencing Shawshank,
The
or
Titanic, whatever.
just a great show.
So I don't know.
I think he was going.
I'm
to
questioning.
Then there's Slapshot.
Oh,
What age is appropriate to start integrating Slapshot into your
wonderful
kids?
lady.
45. It's fairly
You
offside.
had to grow up without a phone, otherwise you're going to be offended by
It's
this.
so
And
awesome.
if you- yeah.
That might be just make sure it's maybe not the first time the kid has ever heard the C-bomb
Yeah,
when they're at the
they have to be ready for it.
at the bar
We
after
are,
soap opera.
and now that being said, we are overprotective of our children. They can handle more than we think.
I've mentioned it before. I was on a flight and tried to watch Blazing Saddles again. I couldn't
Oof.
get 3 minutes in. I was like, holy, how did they make this? You can't say any of this stuff.
No.
Oh,
That blankety blank hit me with a shovel. You can't do it.
no, you can't.
No, you cannot do it. Yeah, Blazing Saddles.
Oof.
I wouldn't put that on this list.
No, I would not.
No,
That's going to
is-
scare you.
Yeah.
It's going to scar your kids.
Rocky is an old movie for sure.
Is it any good?
Rudy?
Rudy's one you got to see.
Yeah, it's
I think.
a great underdog tale.
Yeah.
I don't have daughters, so I don't know what to watch. Russ.
What's the best of those war
Such a
movies?
cop.
Like there's Full Metal. I guess that's more.
Full Metal Jacket's a tough one for sure.
Hamburger Hill.
Yeah.
That's another one I always confuse.
There's a few.
Anyway, I'm not sure if we helped out there.
No, I don't think
there's
we
a
did.
few in
Just
that
talked
mix.
about
A
old
lot of movies, eh? A lot of movies.
Yeah. But what'll happen is my kid will see something in a movie and they'll be,
Mhm.
oh, that's from Family Guy. Nope. Family Guy did it because of the movie,
There's a trickle down.
right? It's like, oh, because I saw it on Family Guy. Maybe that's the answer. Just let your kids watch Family Guy. They'll see the references, and then when they get sprinkled in their original form, they'll figure all that out.
Right.
I have a video to go along with this one.
Hmm.
I have a
Video submission.
Nope.
Yeah,
She's
a
hot.
video submission. It's shush, dude. Christ. This is from George. Video of my kids. We were watching the game of Wolves shootout win. We watched the game in the morning from Preston, England.
No way.
Cheers from George. George firing up
Georgie.
the inbox.
Yes.
There's a howl. Yes.
There you go.
Well done. Preston, England.
Preston, England.
That sounds
is
like a fake
George.
place.
Never been.
Not yet.
It's true.
You'll have to go see George.
Live show.
It's all about live shows. Stop
Jordan.
already with the live shows. So there you go. That is the that's good. Well, we have some
Not a boy,
comments,
Georgie.
I guess, in the old Great Clips inbox from EE. Ernest Elder. Do you take part in the Costco triple threat? The dog, the pizza slice, and the poutine.
That's a heavy order.
No, that's
It's gluttony.
yeah.
That's going to put you deep into the couch. That one.
At that point, it just feels like you're just doing it because it's a good deal.
I did that the one summer when I was supposed to be a professional athlete, where it was again another one of those last days of eating what I want before I got real serious about my training.
Right.
That's the kind of thing that you'd go after. You do poutine from 2 different places and some hot dogs and some pizzas for some of your favorite establishments.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next weekend would be the last weekend I was gonna get serious about training.
Yeah.
Next
more
weekend.
days.
Busy.
And then this morning you woke up and
Jumped in a lake.
jumped in the lake.
Now you're out of the league.
Here's Chad. Who's going to be the World Series MVP?
We talked about yesterday, Mahomes.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a feeling I know who it's going to be,
It's not
and it's
making
not
you
who I'd
happy?
like it to be.
So maybe,
All right, pick one from each side.
Soto,
Yes.
Otani.
just for Pinder's sake, I'll go Betts and Judge.
Jack,
Otani and Judge.
Alcohol.
Cheater, Kirk Gibson. That's from Doug. Hey, Doug. Is Frank Seravalli ever going to come back on the show, or is he only going to go on the Oilers Nation shitty show since that's clearly his favorite? Oh, well, I mean, listen here.
Settle down.
We have Frank on Mondays. He went to talk to Connor Bedard.
And the week before, he was in Salt Lake.
Yeah, I mean,
He's been
ordinarily
busy.
I would say, well, it's more important, a bigger deal than us. Connor Bedard,
He just argues with me anyway.
Connor Big Deal, is what we call him?
That is the Great Clips inbox. Brought to you by Great Clips. It's going to be great. Check out the website, greatclips.com. Better yet, get the app and use it. It's got the app, wait times, locations, text alert when you're 15 minutes out. It's the way you do it. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
Think that Guardian cap will help my drinking? I was confused by that.
Well, it will when you fall down, and you fall down. You get tipsy and tippy.
I don't remember falling down, though.
It's the Carolina Hurricanes in town to take on the Calgary Flames tonight. We go to the Crystal Waters Insider Hotline. We'll call it the fan hotline. Although inside, hey, this guy's inside. No, as he pops us in. Crystal Waters Plumbing and Heating is your crystal clear choice for all residential plumbing, heating, and cooling
Oh, I know that
services.
voice.
They are here for you, barn burner viewers and listeners. New hot water heater, AC, furnace. You'll get discounts and upgrades up to $1,000 in value. Crystal Waters Plumbing and Heating, your crystal clear choice for home comfort. 403-219-4100 or online, crystalclearcalgary.com. This man has a Carolina Hurricanes. He's got a tattoo and a piece of jewelry with
I do. I
with
do.
Carolina on it.
Yeah.
Mike Commodore joins the program.
Nobody knows what it is around here, but yeah, I do.
He founded that Scott Arniel fan club we were talking about yesterday.
I should have never said anything. I shouldn't have
say
said
it.
anything.
Just
And
blend it out.
the Jets just come out firing. Guys can't lose. They're going 82-0. I hate that guy, though. He is a
I
loser.
know.
But I don't want to talk about him. Let's talk about something more positive.
All right.
We don't need to talk about him.
No.
So you're in the desert?
Still.
I'm in the desert right now. Yeah. Just got out of the gym, taking care of the dog. No hockey games to go to here. I guess ASU. You can do that.
Same rank. That's easy.
Same rank. Yeah. Same rank. You know, seats are about the same as far as available, but there's plenty available. But it's good. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're good. man.
Flames are on fire. They don't want that lottery pick, huh?
No, with
Not
this
yet.
rebuild stuff, we don't believe in it.
Forget it.
It's
Yeah.
already over. Yeah.
That's right.
Do you think
It's
you still do
playoffs.
the parade route where the Stampede route is, or would you go down 17th? What do you do?
Ooh, yeah. I don't know. You probably hit both. Why not?
That's right.
Just keep going until it gets
Don't
dark.
stop.
Not to get serious, but do you run into people at all that are upset that the Coyotes are gone? There's a void in their life. It's early in the season, I guess. It's still beautiful weather down
It
there.
is.
But I just wonder.
And the Las Vegas Knights are just taking over the radio here too. It's all I hear on sports radio is Knights hockey on whatever it is.
I read that
they're moving in. I think Utah's trying to. Not a ton, but yeah. I will say, honestly, there's a group of guys that I like. There's a group of guys that have got a little. Well, most importantly, they've got cash, and I think they've already started like
the flirting.
Yeah, but obviously they know. I mean, that owner, obviously, the old guy's an idiot. He's gone. Like he's not going to have anything to do with any of it, and they know they need to get a rink. And so, look, I got no. I mean. They also said, hey, would you want to be a part of it and help run it? I'm like, help run what? The social media department? Like, what do you want me to run?
I
don't get the game anymore. I can't run the D. I don't know what you want me to run. But so, yeah, I don't know. I would think, honestly, though, gun to my head, I bet you 10 years from now, they're back.
Yeah, I think so too.
Something's back. It'll work down here. You just got to get it. I know it's easier said than done, but you just got to get a rink.
It's a checklist of two. You need a non-shitty owner and a non-shitty facility. You get both those things, it works in Phoenix, I believe.
Location, yes, for sure.
Yeah,
location
probably fine.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's part of it.
Yeah.
Right?
The facility in Glendale is great. It's just
in the wrong part of town. Yeah,
it's just it's right out there where all the massage parlors are. You know what I mean? Like that's not where.
See, that's why I didn't stay out there. That's why I stayed at the W.
That's right,
the W.
Distance yourself.
Can't be affiliated with that.
Can't be around
that behavior.
It's just quickly in and out of there. Gone.
So how did just with Carolina? It's like, well, who do we know? Carolina. Oh my God! How did it come to be that you joined the Carolina Hurricanes back in the day?
Daryl couldn't wait to get rid of me.
Jeez,
that's actually kind of a lie. I'll take that back. I'll take that back. I think Daryl liked me. The year after we went to the finals, the next year was the full year lockout. So I headed there right after Rhett and I got wasted at the Flames golf tournament. Greatest golf tournament to kick off a season ever.
Because he knew it wasn't happening, right?
Oh, well, Rhett knew. I didn't know because I'm young. I don't have anything to do with the union. And I know I've told this story before. Long story short, I'm taking this all serious for like the first 3 holes, thinking I'm going to be doing that bike test the next morning.
The VO2.
Yeah, the VO2, like where you're pushing those watts. And I've worked out hard all summer. So my group's like, hey, you want a drink on the first hole? I'm like, no, I got testing in the morning. They're like, thought you guys aren't playing. I go, nah. I'm like, come on. No NHL hockey. That's not going to happen. And I think it was after my third hole, there was a Bacardi tent after my third hole. And I walked in there and there was 3 guys. Rhett for sure was there. And the other, I think it was Rhett, Stefan Yell, and maybe Robin Regier. The other 2, but I know for a fact Rhett was there. And they are smashing Bacardi rum. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, Rhett's getting wasted. I'm like, maybe I can find some ice time around here. But he's like, I go, what are you guys doing? They're like, have a drink, Mike. The season's over. I'm like, really? They're like, yeah, here you go. And I think Rhett gave me a couple rums. I'm like, all right. And then that was, I don't remember the last 9 holes. But we had a good time. It's a hell of a time. But anyways, to answer your question, I get a little sidetracked. The next year after we went to the finals, I knew I needed to play. So I called, I thought I should be paid a little, I'd been in the American League for a decent amount of time. So I called Daryl, like after being in Calgary, after that tournament for a couple of weeks, I'm like, I got to get out of here. Like, this is not good for my career. I'm 25 years old. Like, I got to play somewhere. So I called Daryl and he's like, yeah, I got a spot for you in Lowell. I'm like, well, I should be making like 6 figures. Like, I'm a veteran. Like, he's like, I'll pay you $50,000, take it or leave it. If you don't like it, you can go somewhere else. I'm like, 50 grand in Lowell, like after that doesn't even cover, like I paid to play. Like that's not even covering my rental car out there. So went out there and I actually had a really, really good year. And we split the team with good team. Every team was good in the league except for Springfield. Springfield was awful. The rest of the league was like good. The top 6 forwards and top 3, 4D were all in the NHL the next year, pretty much. And I had a really good year. And we split the team with Carolina. And so, the Flames weren't out there all that much just because it's so far. But the Canes were there. Laviolette was there all the time. Rutherford was there. And so at the end of the year, they traded for me. So, you know what? I'd say, I got traded. A couple of the trades probably didn't work out. I would say that ended up working out pretty good for the Carolina Hurricanes. They paid me minimum wage. They got 2.5 years of my service. They got a cup ring, and it cost them a third or fourth round pick. Who I don't even know who the Flames picked. It doesn't matter, but
anyway. You also get to build your brand, though. There's house coats. There was that was the beginning of a bit of your persona around the league.
I guess, yeah. I mean, might have started in Calgary a little bit, but yeah, the Hurricanes help. But yes, I'm grateful for my time in Carolina. I cheer for the Carolina Hurricanes and the Flames and the few guys that I still know that are playing. And I see they're having a tough time scoring these days. Flames might just spank them tonight. No. Do you guys want them to win? Have we decided what way we want the Flames to go yet?
It's very confusing at the moment, to be honest with you.
It is
because you
somebody
feel like
asked. Go ahead. Sorry.
The shoe's something's gonna fall off, and they're not going to be as good for a long. When they start to lose, it might just continue. Right?
But you don't want to rain on the parade. But you're also
I know you don't want to be negative.
Pretty flat the last 2 games and 2 overtimes.
I know. I got asked about the Flames. Yeah, it's fun to win. Yeah, everybody loves winning. I know somebody asked me down here, hey, how about your Flames? I'm like, yeah, they're cruising right for that 12th overall pick.
Well, that's the shitty part, right? Is that I think the pieces were put in place to make sure we had a top 10 pick at least. And now we're like, come on, you guys. Do it right.
6 games. It's fun.
I haven't seen a whole lot of it. I'm assuming the guys are working hard. They must be.
Big time.
Yeah, I think they're having fun because it's the old underdog and we're actually doing
us against the world.
F you.
Yeah. Yo, you guys
structure.
Think we suck. Watch this.
Yeah, like work ethic, structure, and the culture. Like 2 years ago, we looked at this team under Darryl that people picked to win the cup and be better than Edmonton, and it was dysfunctional. Whether that was one person's fault or everyone's fault or whatever reason, didn't matter. They just didn't look like a group that liked being together. This is the exact opposite. They're cheering on these incredible, is Justin Kirkland going to turn into the pumpkin at midnight or not? Who knows? But it's a fairy tale so far. Everyone's bought in. They love being around each other this year so far.
Yeah. Everybody likes coming to the rink. There's something to be said for that. I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's the game of hockey. And it is a game. You're supposed to have fun doing it, at least once in a while. It shouldn't be painful constantly.
It doesn't need to be memory
2 days a month. It's definitely not painful when you get your paycheck, no matter what. But
those are guaranteed winter days.
Oh, you're going to have 2 great days a month for sure.
Yeah. Pinder mentioned the house code. We don't need to do all of this, but I'm trying to remember, how did that was it just something that you decided to wear in the locker room because then fans were wearing it in the crowd and it was pure peer pressure. Well, it was a gift from the Carolina Hurricanes. I got a little pamphlet. Pick what you want. I was single, living by myself. I mean, not much has changed. So I'm like looking at this thing. I'm like, what am I going to do with the barbecue set? I eat out all the time. I'm like a wine set. I'm like, what the hell am I going to do with a wine set? So the only thing on there was like a house coat. So a couple months later, it came to the rink. So I put it on and in the little change room or whatever. And Glenn Wesley came in and he's like, oh, Mike, you look great. I'm like, oh, really, Glenn? He's like, oh, yeah. He's like, you should get your numbers stitched on that. I'm like, that's a little forward, isn't Glenn? I was going to just take this thing home or I don't know. He goes, no. Get your numbers stitched on there and then wear it around the room. I'm like, all right. I mean, at this point, Glenn Wesley played like 1,400 games in the NHL. He'd been around since 75. I'm like, hey, man, this guy knows what he's talking about. So sure, Glenn, I'll do whatever you want. And so I just took off from there, and I just would wear it during my real extenuous warm-ups when I'm drinking coffee. I do a couple high knees in it, then go put my gear on and go play.
Did you do media in it? Did you wear it to media scrums?
Yeah. During the playoffs, I did. Yeah, I did. Once it got going, and then I'll never. I didn't really know what was going on in the stands too much, and then my dad came down for a game. Might have been during the second round or something like that. Anyways, it doesn't matter. But he came down, and after the game, he's like, Mike, what the hell is going on around here? I go, what do you mean? He's like, I'm walking around the concourse, and he goes, there's a bunch of life-size cutouts of you in a bathrobe. I'm like, yeah, my dad, look, they're looking for things to talk about around here. Don't look into it too much.
So when you
Anyways,
look
he
back,
just
do
left.
you think it was good? I just wanted, was Wesley trying to make take the piss out of you? Was it, oh no, Mike, you should definitely get your number embroidered on this. You
I
should, and you
mean-
should wear it around all the time. You look great in it. Feels like maybe he was having fun at your expense.
I think so, yeah. I think there was some good. I don't think it was like he was being rude to me.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus.
What are we
That's
doing?
that is rude looking. I will say that.
Embroider the
And I look
number.
skinny though. I'll say that. I
So-
look
Yeah,
skinny.
yeah.
So you were single in those days, you say?
Really, huh?
Yeah. Those are the days. I tell you what, NC State college parties right there. Man,
Jeez.
those were the days. God, I miss that. I look like an idiot, but yeah, Glenn was looking back. Glenn was probably having some fun with me.
Yeah.
Thanks, Glenn.
They,
It all worked out though in the end.
I've got a
It's in the Hall of Fame now, in the
Sure?
basement now, but
Come
yeah.
on.
Yeah, I swear to God, it was. They told me it was on display for 1 full year. You know, I think where they put the gear and stuff, and then
Yeah,
obviously
they rotate
they
it.
were probably lying to me. They probably had it up for a hot minute and then threw it in the basement. But
Yeah.
anyways, I don't have
Gotta
anything
get
else
you
in the Hall of Fame, so I'll take it.
Well, you run that new franchise in Arizona for a couple decades. That'll get you in there.
Yeah. You guys. I'll keep you guys in mind. We're gonna need a crew down here.
There we
so
go.
You let me know. I'll be looking to do
We'll
some
do some
hiring
free
in
live
10
shows down
years.
there.
Yeah. We'll go
We'll
and
do a
some
couple live
shows.
shows.
So we, the guys, I dig Rod Brindamore. You see him in the room with the guys. Great coach. He was a teammate of
Yeah.
yours. Lifts the cup, captain, that whole thing. It seems like he's the same guy now as he was then. What about any tales? This is here. Plays the whole game. Plays 25 minutes. Then is throwing friggin' iron around for an hour in the weight room after the game. Like he's a maniac, right?
Yeah, he's a maniac. Like I had heard stories about him from his Notre Dame days, and then playing with him. Yeah, I mean, he was a maniac. I mean, I would say he's the exact same person, except now that he's a coach, he talks way more. Like
Sure.
you can tell how he's kind of jumpy, and like I don't think it's like supernatural for Rod to like get up in front of people and speak and stuff. Like I don't like as a player. I mean, maybe he just didn't talk to me. I don't know, but I was in the room after games. Obviously, I was around him a lot, and he was quiet. He was one of those guys that like led by example. But yeah, it'd be like he'd play a game, you know, and he was playing 25, like you said, 25 minutes, playing hard minutes too. Like he played in both ends of the ice. And, you know, after the game, it was a guarantee he'd be like pumping an insane amount of iron and then get on those like rude, like those stationary bikes. I can't remember the name of them, but they were like dark or like light brown and like kind of made a noise. It was just like they were painful to ride. Like
Like with
I
the
couldn't
fan
stand
as the
being on-
front wheel, like one of those
No,
assault
it
bikes?
wasn't the fan. I can't remember. It was like light brown. It wasn't the fan one, but it was like just pedaling the thing was awful. The resistance
I think it was
like,
the Cybex. Yeah, you go
Might have
900,
been, yeah.
1200, 1500, 1800, 2100. Yeah.
yeah, and like the resistance, there was nothing. You turn that dial and it goes from 0 to 1,000, and like, and he's just grinding on that thing for. I can't remember. He was like 45 minutes. Like after every home game, he was in there just
You
crushing.
got to
it.
get that out.
Yeah, he was. I'll tell you what, he was ripped. I mean,
Yeah.
you could put him on I mean, he probably still is not very. I like calling him chunky he actually still keeps in touch with me, which I actually appreciate. Like of all the guys, I thought he'd gas me, but he's actually a guy I keep in touch with very regularly. I like calling him chunky. It makes me laugh. His one little vice. You know, he ate very healthy, very like he'd have a beer once in a while, but like, you know, Rhett's probably not calling him on a Saturday night. I'll put it like that. And
In a business relationship. not a-
yeah. Like I didn't see Rod too much outside.
He wasn't at
drink.
the NC State.
Yeah, that's
He
right.
was not at the
Yeah.
college parties that I was at. Rod had some better things to do, but his one vice was he loved those red vines. You know, like the Twizzlers.
Yes.
The American
Really?
thing. Oh yeah. So I had, you know, I'd come obviously for the first like year I was there, I didn't say anything to him, but like he kind of try and hide it a little bit, but he would just vacuum those things back. So after I got to know him a little bit, then I started. So like every once in a while, I'll just That's why I call him chunky. How those red vines going down, and
Why in
it's
the
the little
hell?
things for me.
Why did he go to Notre Dame, Saskatchewan? Like, what was that Wilcox?
Yeah,
Oh,
good question. Why? I'm not sure. I'm sure it was just purely sport related.
oh,
There's stories about him there too, like because the dean was the dad of a couple brothers that I played, or I don't know if he's the dean back then, but he was a teacher at the school, and there's all kinds of stories about them having to. They'd have to like lock him out of the weight room there.
I was going to say he's probably just been one of those all-in guys right from the beginning. So it's a school in the middle of nowhere, but all we do is play hockey, and okay, I'm in.
Yep. Play hockey. He would go to school and he would lift weights, and to the point, like I heard it from a few people where they would like legitimately lock him out of the gym, so that he'd go back to his dorm room and he'd like fill up like milk jugs or water jugs or whatever.
That's
fill
what
it
I
up
used
and
to do.
like
with
be
box
hanging it
sets.
from the chair, like doing curls and stuff. I don't know what the hell he was doing. I mean, whatever it was worked, obviously, but yeah, he's an animal.
So you've sort of set some roots here. You used to be the man that owned nothing and traveled wherever you wanted at any moment. Now I hear you have a dog. Like you've not been back to Calgary much lately. What the hell's going on? We miss you up here.
Yeah, I miss you guys too. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, I mean, I got some things to figure out. I mean, you know what I mean? I love the dog. The dog's great.
It's very
I got
vague.
all.
Yeah, no, that didn't explain any of it. So.
Okay.
This thing isn't going to air in Arizona, is it?
No, next topic. All right.
Next.
Yeah, let's just say I have some things to figure out.
All right.
Yeah.
There's lots of thoughts going through my mind.
Are you
constantly?
I'm trying to remember because you would go on the annual golf trip. Is that still a thing? The big
the Swedes against you had the Ryder Cup or what? Swedes, North
COVID
America.
killed that too. That's been done.
Oh, come on. You can bring that back.
It's Dan Cleary's show and Sean Horkoff, sorry. Yeah. I think we're going to try, this summer, just with 4 guys, just to see. But, once you miss something, they canceled our trip. We had a Scotland trip. And then all of a sudden it's like, well,
now it's a headache to get going. Yeah.
So are you still going to the Ken Holland annual one? Because that's the most psycho golf trip I've ever heard you talk about. Because you got a bunch of these, you got all kinds of different guys trips, but like tips, no gimmies, have to walk, no carts, 10 rounds in 7 days, band and dunes. I remember you coming onto the show after you're like, I don't want to look at a golf club for 2 months. I hate the sport until next year.
Yeah, Ken's still doing it. Now that he's retired, he's just sent me an email today, and he's a member at the golf course I'm at here. So now he's like, we've done this Whisper Rock thing for the last couple of years. It's like 3.5 days of golf, 36 a day, except for the half day. And yeah, it's like 2-man best ball, 1 ball counts. So if your partner's doing better, like if you're out of the hole, you're out of the hole. That's fine. But then it's all on your partner. The counting ball has to go in the hole. I've been telling him this because, like, at some places like Bandon Dunes, now they just let us get away with it because we're bringing in $250,000 or whatever. But when you come all in and you got 24 guys, but like max net quadruple on a hole, like that is rude. I've been like begging him. I'm like, hey Ken, can we net double? Net double is plenty. But he doesn't listen to anything I have to say. But yeah, still doing that. I think this year he's got like 3 going on down here. He's like, hey, Mike, I'm coming down here, here, and here. I'm going to need you to go up and how many guys you want? I go, Ken, I'll give you 1. Like, let's do 1.
Can't get enough golf. Eh?
Can't get enough golf. Yeah, he loves it. But I think we're going back to Europe this summer. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I love Ken. He's a good dude. Even though he screwed me in Detroit, I still love him. He's a good guy. I mean, I should hate him. I've told him this right to his face. I'm like, I don't even know why I'm on these golf trips. I'm like, I should want nothing to do with you, but he is a good dude. So it'll be interesting to see. He'll be doing something next year. He's like, oh, I'm just going to relax. I'm like, you're going to relax. I'm like, you're going to come down here sometime this winter. 3 weeks into it, everybody at Whisper Rock's going to hate you because you're taking too many strokes and you're playing from tees you shouldn't, and you won't pick your ball up. I'm like, they're all going to hate you, and you're going to want to leave. So he'll be doing something. I mean, is he like consulting for the NHL right now, just getting another paycheck?
He's biding his time. He wants one of those cushy president gigs or a VP with a buddy or something. That's the move.
No, you know what? I thought that too. He'll be a GM, I bet.
I don't know.
So you should.
I think he'd like to.
So you should hate Kenny Holland. Is that similar to how maybe James Neal should hate you after you gave him that advice to come to Calgary?
Hey, I told James, the first thing I told James, I go, do you want to play in Canada? His first immediate no. I go, James, there's your answer.
So he didn't know Calgary's in Canada? What the fuck, Jamie?
Get him a globe.
I'm like, James, I'm like, you love it in Vegas. Like you're from Canada. You know what goes on. Do you want to play in Canada? No.
And the Flames.
Okay.
Signed
James,
James.
end of story. And then Trey Living came over the top with just an offer that next thing I knew, I didn't think he was coming. Next thing I know, it's signed. I'm like, oh God, please go well, James. Send it.
Yeah.
Went well for him, though.
Yeah, they did preseason in
days a
China,
month,
and I think by the time they were flying home from preseason in China, it already had not gone well, and he was off Johnny's line. So that's how it went.
I wouldn't say him and Bill Peters got along too great.
Nope.
No.
Well, players and coaches, I hear relationships can be tough sometimes.
Yeah, they can. They can be good too, but yeah, they can be tough.
Michael, short notice. We appreciate you jumping on here today. Any excuse we can use to get you on is a good. We'll take
more Commie in our lives
for sure.
Well, just let me know, fellas.
What kind of dog? What are you doing with the dog? What do we got for a dog?
We got an Irish Doodle. So it's an Irish setter and a poodle mix.
No shedding?
Henry. No shedding. Yeah.
Perfect.
I wanted to rescue a dog, but it wasn't my decision. But I will say he is a good boy.
Happens.
This thing runs my show, though. I've never had like a puppy. Dummy. I don't play that much golf anymore. I feel like I'm slammed. Like, I know I'm not. Like, I don't have kids. And like, I get it. But I've lived my entire life just taking care of me, and I could care less about anybody else. Really? This dog runs my show.
Just find someone you know and drop it off at his house and then never pick it up.
Work for Rhett.
That would break my heart, though.
Yeah,
I do love the little.
If you don't have a heart, it's hard to
think. Yeah, you would.
I got a heart for dogs.
Yeah,
I found that out.
Thanks, Michael.
All right, see you guys. Thanks for having me.
You bet.
Enjoy the game tonight.
We will. Mike Commodore. There's only one Mike Commodore, ladies and gentlemen, on the Crystal Waters Plumbing and Heating Hotline. 23 years of experience, over 30,000 projects completed. They want to be the guardians of your home's mechanical heart. Ensure that your home's ready for winter. It is coming. We had a little kind of it's kind of cold in here. Just go turn on the, just turn the heat on. Make sure.
First time of the year, you never know.
Crystal Waters Plumbing and Heating is your crystal clear choice for home comfort. 403-219-4100. Check them out online, crystalclearcalgary.com.
You think he picked the half poodle non-shed breed?
Doesn't sound like
Doesn't feel like it.
The exact conversation I've had for 2 years. Sure would like a rescue.
And the thing about that is, I mean, no kids, it's ultimate freedom for Mike for years.
Decades.
Life.
Puppies are hard for everyone. You could have kids, you could have dogs your whole life. Jeez, that would be a shock to his system. Oh my God, I got to let it out. Eats twice a day. I got to put food out for this dog. I just
can't go from the golf course to the airport.
Yeah. Good old Mikey.
Miss him. Used to be around a bunch.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
Got some thinking
Is he still doing that show?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, what, very, very occasional guest, right? It's not like a regimented schedule.
Well, no, he does a thing with
with Seravalli,
the goalie.
Yeah. Someone was going to be the host of that show, but there was a conflict.
None of my business.
Should have done that one.
Don't have to do with us as much, to be fair.
Not a lot of live shows on that one. Time for Bet365, the world's largest sports betting platform. Open an account with Bet365 today. Bet on a huge range of markets. Huge. Use the promo code NATION when you sign up and you download the app. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Yeah.
So there's multiple NHL games tonight. There was only one last night. There was no NFL games last night.
And tonight we got NFL
that
and
changes
Flames.
it. So tonight,
Oh, what do you want? What do you want? I got some Flames.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Who do we love here, friends? Well, there's your game line. So if you're just curious, Canes on the money line minus 180, Flames plus 150. The over/under set for 6. And yeah, the puck line numbers interesting. Carolina minus 1.5. Okay, interesting. Flames plus 1.5. Not much value there. I like your Connor Zary gets a point bet plus 110 for over half a point. And Andrei Kuzmenko's been solid, but what? Just the one goal?
One goal.
He's ready for another, boys. The plus 260 is an implied probability of around 25%. If you score in a quarter of your games, that's 20 goal pace. He's better than that. He's better than a 20 goal guy. Let's jump on that number. If it stays at that number all year, we're going to keep betting it.
You know what? Sorry, Jack, throw that up. I might, out of all that there, I feel under a total of 6 goals.
I felt under in the Penguins game, and it looked great until it didn't.
I would say under the 6 there for this matchup tonight.
I'm with you.
Goaltending has been good. Both teams right now. The goal scoring has gone down a little bit.
Both elite defensive teams, 7th and 5th in the league in terms of goals against so far. Very early.
I saw a stat. Bet365. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The app is great. Play along. Game's already started. Get in there. And then, of course, there's the football tonight as well. The
foosballs.
Vikings and the Rams.
It's only 3 for the Vikings, and the Rams tried their hardest to lose to the Raiders last week. Meanwhile, the Vikings almost beat Detroit. It does feel odd, but you got Cooper Kupp theoretically returning for the Rams. That would help Stafford a ton.
Sure.
Kyron scored in 9 straight games with a touchdown. That's wild. Not going to ask for it.
9 times.
All right. It is. It's been so many.
Yeah, I know.
It feels kind of like
digging,
leaning
That's
into it,
just
but
stats.
it feels like it's kind of been
Not
organic
digging.
and it's just been coming up.
Mhm.
Last in the league for hits, I think I saw the Carolina Hurricanes.
Two ways to look at that.
Team.
So some rinks, the hit's not a hit. It's super subjective.
Yeah.
And so certain barns, teams get credit for way more hits than they do on the road. And you're like, that's a bullshit barn.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the case with or without some of the other teams in there. If Carolina's the hardest place to get credit for a hit.
Maybe.
The other thing is if you have the puck all night, how many hits do you get when you have the puck? They are a good possession team typically. So I don't know if that means much.
I'm looking forward to the game.
Yeah.
Going?
No.
Oh.
I got responsibilities. Thursdays, I'm a very busy guy. Very busy.
Commie and I got Afterburner.
Nice.
Yeah. Excited. Jacko, who's producing? Yasmin?
Yes, Yasmin will be here.
Nice.
Yasmin Bleeth.
It's not our producer.
No.
It's not a producer. Same name.
Was she on Baywatch?
She might have been on Baywatch.
Jesus.
Model or actress of some sort.
I'm going to Google that.
Before we go,
Carry on.
Classic content for you here.
Okay.
This got dumped into the socials across. I got it sent to me yesterday, and I don't know why it's come up necessarily. But
So
there's some
good.
We'll end it this way, and we'll go out with this because it is special. Now I don't know if that somebody said is that like a Suzuki Samurai or something. I don't know what it is.
We're not endorsing the vehicle, but just go ahead and enjoy the beauty.
Yeah, there's some names. Some names you'll remember. Baywatch. Yasmin, please. And we were talking about Baywatch earlier.
I was just saying.
Unbelievable.
9 times.
Buy a lot of something. Some former Flames. There's some names you'll remember and recognize in here. A hype video from what's our circa?
It was 2000.
Wow.
Just after, like,
that's old.
Yeah, because there's the billionaire is there.
That lady hasn't even gotten her coma yet when this is happening.
I know. Enjoy. We'll see you, buddies.